Alright, what's going on, everybody? Hope 186 back again with another podcast, the Overrated Podcast, episode 83. I am your co host, Hoovy 186, and with me right now is Traditionalist 101.
Oh yeah, Traditionalist 101 is here, and yes, we are aware that we're not doing the podcast on Monday like we usually like to do. It's not my fault; it's my partner's fault over here. but nonetheless, we are doing the podcast. Take over real quick. Let me fix my camera.
Yeah. Like he said, no Monday show. I had some family business to attend to, but we're here today. We got some topics to discuss, and hopefully we can get this done in under 2 hours. Our last episode, which is a two-parter, lasted 7 hours between the two podcasts. 7 hours, and hey, you're gonna get your content. You're gonna get your money's worth when you listen to us. Yeah. And also a programming note. There's a couple of things that we want to discuss before we get to the topic at hand. To the topics at hand. First thing first, we are aware of the news of E3 pretty much being dead.
Yeah.
The final nail in the coffin. We are going to have our friend BHC Dark. He will join us next Thursday to discuss E3 in general. So we'll discuss everything that went on, the history of E3 and everything else next Thursday. So we'll do that. Now, when it comes to Monday show, right? There may be a Monday show. Now, obviously, you guys know.
He said
There
maybe, y'all. Prepared. That's key word. He said maybe. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Obviously, Monday is the NCAA National Championship game, and there is a chance, and I hope there's a chance that the Hurricanes, who made it to their first Final Four ever, hopefully they'll be playing that game. They're playing UConn in the next game, and if they can beat them, it's gonna be tough because UConn is very good. If we can get past them, we'll be in the national championship game. So that means that I'm not going to be able to concentrate on that game and do the podcast. So if they win, that means the podcast is likely going to be done on Tuesday. If they lose, then we'll be here Monday. So
Of course.
just letting you guys know, because I'm probably going to go out and watch the game at a bar or something like that, and
Yeah, just so you know, all know he'll be looking forward to cancel on Monday if they go to the championship game.
absolutely, absolutely,
Forget me, forget the fan base. It's all about me caring about a basketball team that I hardly care for, that I hardly watch.
yeah,
Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah. I mean, you're trying to guilt me into not doing it, but you're not going to. You're not
Yeah,
going.
good. Okay.
They'll be fine. You'll be fine. So So yeah. So I mean, you have anything you want to say before we start the podcast?
I mean, we're kind of starting a little late, so I mean, we could get right into it. The only thing that I wanted to mention, because I completely forgot to show, and this is something that I know you don't really care for anyway, but I still would like to show that I did pick up the Tomb Raider graphic novel comic, slash comic book the other day when everything was on sale, and I haven't had the opportunity to read it yet. I've been pretty much just been studying coding and programming, and which is a very, 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 very difficult course. Extremely difficult course. Learning Python is extremely difficult, but once you learn it, you could pretty much do anything when it comes to computers. So I haven't read this yet, but from what I've heard, it is a very good book. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And also before we start, speaking of Tomb Raider, we haven't had a Tomb Raider game in for a long time. If well, do you remember the last one that we ever had?
I want to say 3 to 4 years ago. Shadow, I think called Shadow of the Tomb Raider or something like that.
My goodness, man, like that. That's no, I don't know. It feels like it was so much longer than that.
Nah, it's a couple years. Couple years. They
Okay,
were bought. They were bought from Square Enix to Embracer Group. So, and we don't know what they're going to do. We don't know what they're going to do with that franchise because Crystal Dynamics was the development team behind that game. And what game are they working on now? I think they're working on the Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark.
okay, okay.
At
They're,
least
they're
they're,
working
at
on
least
they're working on developing that right now.
yeah, at least they're helping with it. I don't know. It's a weird situation over there, but I know there was something else they were gonna work on, but I don't remember.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, and I'm going to share. I bought a lot, but I'm not going to share those until another day when I feel like it. But so far this week, has been okay. It's been frankly, it's been more relaxing, but also a little bit of stress at the same time. Because once again, studying and trying to get better at the programming, learning Python. But other than that, so far the week has been fine. And how about your end?
No, it's been straight. Um, I'm hearing an echo. No, it's gone now. No, it's been straight. There was something I did a couple days ago. I don't remember, but no, it was fine. It was fine.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's good. Good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you didn't do anything crazy or interesting, so we can move on.
Nah, no.
Well, with all that being said, you are up, sir.
Okay. So we talked about multiverses a couple weeks ago. Let me share this thing right here. Hold on, give me 1 second. And okay. Ah, man, this fucking game. Let's talk about it. All right, so right here, and the title says it all. Oh, not this title. The title says it all. Surprise! The hit fighting game Multiverses was only an open beta, and now is shutting down until sometime next year. So let me read the article for
It,
you guys.
it's amazing. Before you read the article, I just thought it was very interesting how a game that was free, a game that is just a beta, pretty much needs to be retract or be fix I guess bugs or whatever content, whatever you want to call it. I don't think I've ever seen that ever in my life before. I mean, with the exception of maybe, I mean, a lot of people said, well, Cyberpunk was kind of like that, but not necessarily, because Cyberpunk was really more of
No, Cyberpunk wasn't in beta. That game didn't work when it came out.
right.
It,
It just didn't work. Yeah.
yeah, it didn't
It,
work.
so yeah, it's just crazy how a game like this, it's not even a full game, but yet it needed to. Well, we'll read the article. Like, I have so much to say, but we'll read the
Yeah,
article.
I have a lot to say too, but let me read the article.
Yes.
Multiversus is going offline in June and won't be back until sometime in early 2024. And the reason is very strange. Warner Brothers Games says that the game was never actually released, but only an open beta. Now let me stop right here. This is interesting because I don't remember them saying that it was an open beta. I mean, for a game that was out that was an open beta for months, they sure as fuck didn't act like it.
Yeah.
Not even close to acting like, because we had well, how many betas do you know that has multiple seasons? They had 2 seasons of content, and they would promise a third until that got pushed back and then ultimately got canceled. But no, it was an open beta out of the
Hmm.
blue, an open beta. All right, so I'll continue reading. The Smash Brothers style fighting game features characters from the DC universe like Batman, Wonder Woman, from Cartoon Network shows like Adventure Time and Steven Universe, Scooby Doo, Looney Tunes, and other Warner Brother properties. Now, the game creator, Player First Games, says that the open beta, quotation marks, open beta, will end in June as developers prepare for the full release next year. Oh man, okay. It's weird because Multiverses has been available since July 2022, during which time it racked up more than 93,000 Steam user reviews, adding up to a very positive overall rating. It's also available on the Epic Store. Quotation marks. It racked up an enviable player count out of the gate, and we liked it quite a bit ourselves, calling it a bang up job of laying the foundation for a fantastic platform fighter that had the potential to blossom into something amazing. In our um 78% review, and there's been a lot of progress on the game since then, including not just one but 2 seasons, complete with viable season passes, high profile crossovers, and a $100,000 pro tournament at Evo. But this was in beta. We
Yeah.
have we have $1,000 tournaments for betas.
I I I don't even remember any tournaments being played at all.
No, they had tournaments. Like I said, it was very popular at Evo last year.
I don't
Very.
honestly. I just don't remember. And I was watching when it comes to Evo. There's only a few games that I actually watched. Like, it was a very long event.
Yeah.
I can't watch every single game. I don't know if if you could,
No,
but
not every. No, I'm not gonna watch every game of Evo, but
yeah.
the thing is that like definitely cause I watched some matches at Evo. It was there.
Hmm.
It wasn't on the main stage, but it was a popular game there. It was a popular game there.
Okay.
And I don't know if they're gonna say it here, but the game is still available to play offline. It's online where you can't really where they're gonna shut everything down online. Just to let you guys know. I can take.
Which doesn't really help anybody, because when the game's offline, you're not going to get any new content, new characters, or anything.
No, I mean let's be frank. They were slow with that anyway, so it doesn't even matter. It's also safe to say that Warner Brothers hasn't exactly played up the open beta angle publicly either. A Twitch search, for instance, indicates that the last reference of it came in August 2022 tweet saying that the launch of the open beta is just the beginning. All right, so All right, but now that's all going away. Game director Tony Huan said the open beta has been an important learning opportunity for developer player first games, and as a result, is pulling the plug on the whole thing for the better part of a year. Okay, and this is the tweet that they sent right here.
Hmm.
All right, this is the tweet right here. So okay, we have a clear view of what we need to focus on, especially the content cadence of new characters, maps, and modes to give you more ways to enjoy the game, along with updated netcode and more matchmaking improvements, Huan said. We also been reworking the progression system based on your feedback and looking at new ways for you to connect with your friends in the game. To do this the right way, we will be closing the Multiversus open beta on June 25th. As part of this process, we'll be pausing updates and taking the game offline as we prepare for the launch of Multiverses, which we are targeting for early 2024. Multiverses players will still have access to the training and local matches following, as well as their characters and cosmetic items they've earned or purchased. But all online modes and features, the reason people actually played the game, that's not what you said. That's what the thing added, will not
Hmm.
be accessible, and there will be no refunds offered as a result of the beta shutdown. Although Warner has assured players that all content they purchase for the game will carry over into full release. The reaction to the news on social media and Reddit is surprisingly upbeat. There are natural complaints about the fully monetized game with 2 seasons under its belt suddenly disappearing under the pretext of it was never actually released, and quite a few people who say that thought the beta ended months ago. But there's also support for the move as the best thing for the game. See a couple of tweets right here from people.
Wait, people thought the beta was over months ago.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought.
Even you thought that.
Yeah,
So what you assume, like everybody else, that okay, there was not going to be any more additional content. You pretty
no, no,
much
no,
thought
no,
the
no,
game.
no. I thought they were going to continue making content because I thought the game was finished. Not finished, but at least I thought the the main thing that they were going to do with the game was just a continue making content for it. That's what we all thought. And the only thing we were really waiting for was the full game to be fully accessed.
Yeah,
That's what we were all waiting for. We had no idea this shit was. Look, I didn't know that the thing was technically considered a beta. That's the part that annoyed me the most about this whole thing. That they tried to disguise it as a beta, but I've never seen a beta that had 2 seasons of content under their belt, and they
I
had and they also teased the third season.
yeah,
So clearly,
I never seen that either.
yeah, and they had more stuff planned, but something happened. We don't know exactly what it was, but like I mean, this whole open beta bullshit. That's not what it was classified as. It wasn't. All right, but anyway, let's see if there's anything else relevant to read here. Let's see. It's not. It's not. Let's see. Okay. 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 One redditor with a good memory surfaced an old tweet in which Huan said that the open beta release will hopefully be permanent unless we find some really awful bugs. That naturally led to some debate about what qualifies as a bug, as opposed to the need to rework systems to try to grow an audience. All right, so yeah, this is the tweet that they're referring to,
Yeah,
and yeah, okay, this happened just pretty much just as the game was coming out. This eggs on Twitter said, "Hey Tony, I was wondering if the multiverse's open beta lasted until the version 1.0 release, or if it's timed like the closed alpha and tech test before it. And his response was, "It'll hopefully be permanent unless we find some really awful bugs." And obviously I played the game. There's no really awful bugs in the game. So clearly something else happened.
There was no bug issues. You didn't feel like there was. You didn't feel like at all that the game was unplayable or anything. Like you
No,
felt like
not
it
even,
was a.
not even close.
Yeah, because I never played the game. Well, I played the game at Soul's Place.
Hmm.
I played a couple times, and yes, it did feel somewhat like a Smash game. It had its own original, I guess, somewhat of a play style to a
Hmm.
degree, and it was definitely more technical with certain characters that you chose.
Hmm.
I thought the game was going to make it. Like I said before, like we mentioned this before, I thought the game was going to be highly successful, especially with the roster that they had. But obviously now, from what's been happening, from what because I went to Soul's Place earlier, and he said to me that nobody's playing the game anymore.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty sure you fell into that category. You even before this had happened, you weren't playing the game anymore, correct?
yeah. I wasn't playing it,
What
but
was the reason why you wasn't playing?
because it was just, well, one, I was upset with their lack of communication. I was upset with that,
Okay.
and this news pissed me off because I feel like they tried to pull an okey doke on everyone as far as what's really going on. They're not telling us what's really going on.
Hmm.
So what I did was, while Gran Turismo was downloading this latest update, I deleted the game. Completely deleted the game.
You completely deleted the game because of the communication issues.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'll explain my decision. I'll explain my decision later. Let me finish this.
Yeah.
The need to go back to the drawing board is definitely real. Within a couple months of its strong start, player count on Multiversus began tailing off dramatically. Its average concurrent player count in July 2022 was an impressive 67,000, according to Stream Charts. But in September, it had crashed to 8,664. Over the past 30 days, so March 2023, basically, the average concurrent player count was just 537. It peaked at 1,081. That's not nearly enough to sustain a competitive multiplayer game that relies on major brand crossovers. The shutdown illustrates the meaninglessness of terms like beta and early access, which enables games to behave like full releases. True, that's absolutely true. Including taking your money, including taking your money while reserving the right to say oops and walk it all back, largely without consequence. The length of the shutdown is already alarming. A game in open beta, essentially one as open as Multiverses was is generally considered to be on the cusp of launch. The fact that Warner wants the better part of a year, possibly more, if the vague early 24 launch target doesn't hold, suggests that much more wide-reaching overhaul is in the works. That's not to suggest malfeasance here. I'm going to suggest it. And there's no arguing that Multiverses wasn't in open beta, at least to the extent that, as far as I can tell, nobody from Warner ever explicitly stated that it had left beta and gone into full release. But Warner definitely appears to be playing at least a little fast and loose with the concept of unreleased game. And there's no doubt in my mind that this would never have happened if had been able to maintain a reasonable player count, technical issues or not. All that remains now is whether Multiverse is actually going to be able to come back from this. And that's it for the article. Okay, so you have anything to say?
Um.
Because
Well.
I will say this.
Yeah.
Um, they are pretty much doing what you wanted them to do.
That's what I was going to bring up. But go ahead,
No,
finish.
no, 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 no. No. I just wanted to point that out. I just wanted. So I guess I will give you a merit. No, I will give you merit.
And just so everyone knows, this is the very first time Hoovy ever gave me credit on anything. You see,
No, that's not entirely true. But go ahead.
I'm always able to suck my pride and give you credit when it's warranted. But for me, you like to keep your mouth shut. You don't like to give me any credit. But
That's not entirely true. But yeah, but I mean, I can't help it. Down more right than you. But
yeah,
hey, look, they're doing what you. They're actually doing what you wanted them to do. So yeah, go ahead, continue. You can finish
now,
it.
yeah, from day one, when this game was finally, well, I don't want to say 100% complete. Because I know. Do you consider betas technically full games? Technically,
No, but
yeah.
here's the thing. They were treating it as if it was done because you don't release seasons of content, on a beta. You don't, like, at least to my knowledge, you don't.
Yeah.
What the beta is there for is to test your matchmaking, to test on the online components.
Hmm.
They give you a taste of what the full game is. That's pretty much what a beta is. And for them to try to, and like what the article says, for them to try to play loose with that term when they were charging people money to play for cosmetics and stuff like that.
But
I
then
mean,
what? But I can't remember since I didn't really play the game.
mhm.
Was the characters free though?
No, you had to pay for it. You got one free character and the other character that you had to pay for.
Yeah, you see stuff like that. Like if you're going to make a game, and especially if you're going to make it free, you having just one character, that's just even for a free game is unacceptable.
Oh, what they would also do is do like a rotation of two to three characters that you can play for that time period.
No. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. Now here's the thing. What I was trying to say before. Now you gave me your merit, and I thank you.
Mhm.
And this is what they have should have done from day one. I don't care the criticism that it would have gotten, the same criticism that all these other games that try to mimic Smash Brothers. Like it is what it is. You if any company, any gaming company is trying to mimic Smash Brothers, trying to emulate Smash Brothers, you're going to get the criticism. You're going to have people that's not going to support you. You're going to have haters. Like it is what it is. That they're just love diehard, Smash fans all over the place. Is one of the biggest fighting game community. So it is what it is. But what they should have done is make a complete full game and charge us 50, 60, or whatever money it is for it. Just make it a full game. That's what they should have done day one. And if you want to add content later, if you want to add cosmetics later for characters and things like that, like stages, etc., go ahead. If you want to add different game modes, go ahead. But the game should have been 100% complete, just like how it is in Smash Brothers, just like how it was with Sony All Stars. The game should have been finished, then then add whatever it is that you wanted to add. And I'm glad that they learned their lesson, and I'm assuming that's the route that they're going to take. They're going to relaunch it, and they're going to charge you full price for it. That's what that's exactly what it should have been in the first place.
Okay. Now I said that I deleted the game, right? And like I said, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for Gran Turismo to download, and I was not happy with this news. Now I wasn't like upset, but I wasn't happy about it because this was not the way they clarified what this game is. The path that they were going with this game was every season will release content and will release new characters. That's what they're doing for season 1 and season 2. So this
Right.
idea that all of a sudden it's an open beta and we're going to launch next year, That was not the intention. That was not the intention. Because you already had the game being played at Evo, right? Like,
Right.
and you had, and they had plans for season 3. They had plans for season 3 until it was canceled. So I wasn't happy about this at all. So that's why I was like, after this, I'm not playing the game no more. So I'm deleting it. Now, would I replay it? Would I play it again if it relaunches next month? Like, not next month, but obviously next year.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'll give it a second try, because like I said, the gameplay was good. I like the gameplay, but they need to do a lot to get me to trust them. And the thing is that you saying that they might make it a full game. I don't know if they'll make it a full game. I don't know, because here's the thing: if a game if they release this game for $70, what's that gonna happen? They said all the cosmetics that you will have will be there. I mean, they better be. If you're gonna sit there and convince people to buy all this cosmetic because hey, it's a free to play game, so if you want to support the developer, you can do that. And then you're gonna turn around, shut that game down, shut the cosmetic down, and then charge us $70 to play the game. I don't know. That might rub me the wrong way.
I mean, I don't think it should, for the simple fact that now you have a 100% game that is complete with all the stages, with all the characters that you could think of.
But you also have
That,
to remember, people pay for characters. Also,
yeah.
people pay for characters, and
Well, yeah,
like,
but remember, the people that paid for those, for those characters, they still have those characters now.
yeah, that's true. But I all I had to do was I pay theoretically $70 and I get everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm someone who put money into this game heavy when it was free to play. I don't know if I would be okay with that.
Hmm. You
I
know
don't
what?
know.
That is a good point.
And I don't know. I like I said, I don't know if they're gonna make a full fledged game. I don't know. It seemed like from what I can tell that that's the direction that they're going in. But like I said, I don't know if there's gonna be a full fledged game. And like they mentioned in the article also, we don't know when this game's gonna come out. It was just vague. But if it was anything like the content that they were releasing near the end of its life cycle, I don't trust that early. I don't trust that due date of early 2024. I don't trust that.
Yeah.
I don't trust that. And to me, I mean, I know the article said there were a lot of people who are optimistic about it. I'm not. Even though the only thing I'm really optimistic about is the gameplay. That's it. I don't know if I can try. I don't know if I can trust the dev team. I don't know. I don't think I could trust Warner Brothers.
Hmm.
So it's like I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, man. We'll see
Now
how it goes.
I have a real quick audio of the what was his name? Crap, I forgot his name. I think his name is John or something like that. But anyway, I have the audio. Well, I actually have the video. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna share it real quick,
Mm-hmm.
of him actually expressing his news. So let me go this on share, so that way you could see it and everybody else could watch.
All right.
All right, you see his black screen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, get that out of the way.
Hi everyone, this is Tony from Player First
Tony,
Games,
yeah, yeah.
and I'm here today on behalf of the entire Multiversus team to say thank you for your support during our open beta. We've been excited to see the interest and enthusiasm from the community, and your feedback has been invaluable to us. We continue to be humbled by the awards the game has received, and excited to see the enjoyment that Multiversus has brought to players. Throughout our open beta, we've been working hard to build the best gameplay experience, and we appreciate all the inspiration you've given us. Our open beta has been an important learning opportunity for us, and a stepping stone to the next phase of Multiversus. We know there's still a lot of work to do. As a result, we have a clearer view of what we need to focus on, specifically the content cadence of new characters, maps, and modes, to give you more ways to enjoy the game. Along with an updated netcode and more matchmaking improvements, we'll also be reworking the progression system based on your feedback, and looking at new ways for you to connect with your friends in the game. To do this the right way,
Okay, now, like I said before, they should have, to me, in my opinion, they should have had already made just a regular traditional game. And if you want to add other stuff, you should have. That's what you should have done in the first place. The only thing that I want this game to succeed. I just want you to hear that from me. I want this game to succeed. I
I
really
do
do.
too. Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, even though I will always support Smash Brothers firsthand. I want this game to succeed. And this could be there's a little bit of bias. It is from WB. These are DC properties. So yeah, of course, there's going to be some bias there. I want this company to succeed, especially with all the characters that I grew up watching. Now that I think about it, I'll play the rest of it. But I'm actually worried because of all the people who downloaded the game for free. I wonder if they are going to capture that exact same audience because remember earlier when we read the article from before, millions of people was playing the beta when it first launched.
Yeah.
I don't know if you will be able to capture that exact same audience once you decide to relaunch the game. That's the only thing that I'm worried about. So yeah, I'm okay with them pulling him out like he just said and work on all the extra kinks and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But if the goal is to capture that exact same audience, I don't know if what would be the incentive for them to come back, especially if now you have to pay full price for it.
Yeah, that's what you have to worry. That's what you have to wonder about because, like I said, if they decide to make it a $70 game, yeah, that's a very tough barrier of entry for some people.
Would you pay
But
for it?
if I have to see where it is. I
Okay,
have to see where it is because based on the state that it was in last, absolutely not. I wouldn't.
okay. Oh,
Have to,
we're halfway through.
yeah.
Closing the Multiversus open beta 90 days from today. As part of this process, we'll be pausing updates and taking the game offline as we prepare for the launch of Multiversus, which we're targeting for early 2024. I'm sure you're wondering what this means for you. During this downtime, all online modes and features will be unavailable. You'll have limited offline access to the training room, known as a lab, and local matches, along with access to your characters and cosmetic items within these modes. We do know that this news might be disappointing, but rest assured, Multiversus will be back. We'll also ensure that all your progress and content will carry over when Multiversus returns next year, with a variety of new content, features, and modes. Along the way, we'll be providing updates, so keep an eye on our social channels and website. Thank you again to the entire Multiversus community. We greatly appreciate your passion and excitement and look forward to our next chapter with you. Thank you.
Yeah, and bro, watching this video again, dude, I'm telling you, I think it's been a while since I've actually been sad because. And it's not because of my bias of Warner Brothers and DC. It's not because of that. It's because of the fact that this game just had so much potential with all the iconic that's in this arsenal. You would think that they would tremendously, severely take this game seriously. Like you have to get it right, especially when you have all this huge roster on your side. Like you have to capitalize. And dude, I really want them to win, but I'm just worried that it's probably too late because they probably have missed the mark now. They probably have missed the mark because I had fun with the game when I was playing with Soul. I had fun with the game, and it seems like you did too.
Yeah.
It seems like you did too. So I don't know. I don't know what other ways how they could bring back the fans that they lost and then some. If it's going to remain a Smash Brothers game, like I'm obviously safely going to assume that it is, bro, it would have to. You might have to like bring a huge, gigantic roster to bring somebody to bring all the people that left your game. I mean, I don't know because what was the reason why? Because after Evo, it wasn't any other tournament, was it?
I don't know that for a fact. I don't know that for sure.
All right, I'll look it up later because I'm actually curious to see how long did it lasted before people started bailing out because I want to know the length of the relevancy on this beta. So
Uh,
I'll find out
I
later.
mean, it said near the end, it went down to what 500 people, and this news is not going to help it. Definitely
Absolutely.
not gonna help it.
And
And
mind you, I think people are still playing the Nickelodeon game.
I don't know that for a fact. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like the roster in that game, so I'm not even gonna bother playing it. But to me, I guess my thing with this is that if I mean you got off to such a hot start with this game,
Hmm.
you got off to such a hard start with it, and you let it fizzle out because your communication was poor,
Yeah.
absolutely poor. No one knew what was going on.
Hmm.
You were being hush hush about it, and then all of a sudden now we hear that the beta quotation marks is now being shut down.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, like I said, when it comes to me, I can only speak for myself. They better blow my socks off the next time they show it again. And also another thing I wanted to mention is that okay, so you guys are going to be working on matchmaking and stuff like that. You know when you work on matchmaking in a
Hmm.
beta So how are we going to test out the online servers for this game now with a beta? And how we know you're not going to pull the same bullshit this time when you don't get the results that you want.
Yeah.
So it's like I mean it's like man I don't I'm not happy with what they did. And ultimately whenever the next time they show this game, they better have some news that will get me excited to invest in this game again.
Right.
I need something like new characters or something because at its final state, it wasn't great. It wasn't great.
Well, here's the problem for what you said. I mean, I wouldn't say a big problem because I'm looking at this gameplay footage right now, right?
Mhm.
Well, you know what? I might as well just. I don't want to leave people left out, so because I'm just looking at Malta's. Well, shout out to you, Malta.
Dr. Malta.
Uh,
He's pretty much said that the game looks boring.
right, right. So that's why I wanted to pretty much show the gameplay here. If it loads up, okay. So okay, now Malta, you said the game looks boring. To me, when I played the game, it is very technical, but the game does look fun, and I had a good enjoyment playing the game. The game is fun, Malta. I'm not just being biased or anything like that. The game is fun. The thing is, what you said, Julio, about you better get some new characters. I mean, you are we kind of in a way we're kind of pretty much spoiled with great characters already. I don't know any additional great characters that they have that will incentivize people to buy the game. I mean, you already have Batman, you have Superman, you have Scooby Doo, Tom and Jerry, Bugs Bunny, Taz, who you really like. I don't know what any other additional character can they possibly give us to say, okay, with this amount of characters, it's going to justify the $70 price tag. I
I
mean,
mean,
I don't think,
it's more than just characters. Like it's more than just characters. They need to add more overall content, and the content needs to be easier to obtain. Because like I mentioned, the progression system in this game is horseshit. When I win matches in this game, I don't get nothing for it. I'm not rewarded for winning matches. I'm not rewarded for playing well in this game. At least I don't feel like I am.
wow, that's funny you said that because Saul actually gave me the exact same complaint. He said there you don't get any because you know how okay, one good example, the games that we all play, like Street Fighter, like with
Hmm.
Street Fighter 4 or 5, you know how they have the ranking system. I mean, the ranking system, I remember even Tekken 5 had that, where you would get points you would automatically go into a higher rank the more you continue to progress in
Yeah,
the
every
game mode.
Every Tekken game after five has that.
Yeah. So so his complaint was the fact that there was really no incentive for you to keep getting better and getting better when you don't get rewarded for it, just like exactly what you just said,
Yeah.
what you just stated. So there was no why am I going to get better if there's no point system or if there's no ranking system for me to actually get better with a particular character, there's no incentive.
That's perfect. Yeah, I agree. There is no incentive.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I at the end of the day, like, what am I getting for what am I getting for winning matches in this thing?
Yeah.
Nothing. And when you're dependent on these free to play with this free to play stuff, like you need to do a better job of um of rewarding your players when they win matches. I don't,
Correct.
I don't I don't care. I don't care what game it is. Like they need to do a better job with the reward system because people want to get rewarded for playing well.
100%.
So
100%. So I mean, there's really nothing much else that I want to add. All I have to say is I just hope that the game does get become successful. And if they want to start over, go ahead, start over. And now people like you, people like me, I mean, we're just gonna have to wait. I don't know what this loading thing is. Let me just go back. We're just gonna have to wait and see, and hopefully that the game will improve with additional characters, with content, with a ranking system, and hopefully they do it the right way. And I also want to say this also, man, from now on, if you're going to make fighting games, look, just make it the full game. Just make it the full game, right? Like we don't want partial games. I don't like the way back in the day how Killer Instinct was done. I don't
yeah,
like it the way how
I was gonna ask you about that. Honestly, when it comes to Killer Instinct, I got the full version.
Mhm.
I got the full version. But yeah, but like there are some people, one of them Maximilian, who think that free to play fighting game can work.
He said that?
Yeah,
No way.
yeah, he said it. He said that he thinks that it can work. I personally, I think, I think if multiverses was just consistent with content, I think it could have worked too. I think it could have worked also. But if you're not consistent with content, then people are gonna drop that shit fast. And also take into account Street Fighter coming out in a couple months. That's gonna be full featured.
Yes.
And I don't know, bro. I've been watching videos of Tekken 8
Oh my
gameplay for the
goodness.
8. Holy smokes, does that game look amazing?
Yes.
And like I said, we don't know really much when it comes. We don't know anything about modes or anything like that. But that game, that's a full feature game. And if you think that if you think that doing a lazy free to play game is gonna be you're gonna be able to compete with those guys, they got nothing coming for you.
Yep.
You can't do it. So when it comes to what Maximilian says, I'm not saying he's wrong, but if you decide to be lazy with the content, then then he's wrong then because you have to be consistent with content. You
Do
have to.
you? I'm just curious. Do you remember any statements that he said to justify a free to play fighting game? Do you remember anything?
I think it was like, man. I have to go back and listen to his original comments,
Hmm.
but I think it was really just about being able to be like, okay, well, people, obviously not everyone's gonna master every character in the game, so let them pick and choose what character they want to master, and give them the tools to learn how to play with that character.
Okay.
And me, I understood what he was trying to say, but this is the downside of free to play fighting game. This is the downside when you get no content and you pretty much have a game that's pretty much not finished. You have a game that's not finished,
Yes.
and you're waiting for content. You're waiting for content. You're waiting for content. Nothing comes out. They don't say anything. They cancel seasons, and it's like, okay, now even though I didn't pay nothing for it, I invested my time into it, and nothing. And it's bad enough. Like, and look, there's nothing worse than been spent wasting money on garbage. There's nothing worse than that.
Yeah,
But when you waste my time as well, I'm not gonna be happy about that. And especially when you're a little bit fugazi with how you do things, I'm not gonna be happy with that. I'm not gonna be happy with that either. So they have a lot to prove for me. To me, they have a lot to prove to me.
yeah, and the reason why I brought up Killer Instinct was because I remember a lot of people was complaining about the fact that you only had like a couple of characters to choose from.
Yeah, it's free to play.
Yeah, because it was free to play. Like to me, I don't think free to play games work on fighting games the same way that it does work, for mobile or certain adventure games or indie games. I don't think it works the same way.
And what annoyed me about Killer Instinct, I remember when it came out, I didn't like the way it looked. I thought the game looked ugly. I didn't like the way that the animations were, and I felt that if they actually released a full fledged game, maybe those issues would be fixed.
Hmm.
Maybe you would get all the characters. Maybe the game would look a little bit better. I felt like they didn't like. I feel like Microsoft half-assed that game. And I love Killer Instinct, but the one thing that I've come to a realization is that I only like one Killer Instinct game. I only liked one. Now the original.
For the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the black cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a phenomenal game. And dude, graphically, I know we're still talking about Super Nintendo here, but graphically, man,
Yeah.
it looks so amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful game. And for me, I always felt like, man, they really needed to revive one of the most special, iconic fighting game franchises, even though it didn't last as long as a Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, how Street Fighter did. But holy crap, the hype of that game being anticipated, was phenomenal. What was crazy. I was excited, but then when you only was able to allow to have just one or two characters because it was free to play game, I wasn't interested. I didn't even bother trying to get better at the game because I was just like, what's the point? Like
Yeah.
so I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think Maximilian, like he's a great content creator. Like he knows his stuff. Like he's good, but he's wrong on this one. He's wrong on this one. I think if you're going to make a fighting game, the game has to be complete. The same way how it is in Smash Brothers. Like, and if you want to compete with Smash, you need to bring your A game, and you have to make sure that the execution is flawless. You have to.
Yeah.
We,
Even
we,
if
we talk about Smash Brothers here.
yeah, even if it's not flawless, you gotta bring something. You gotta bring something that is sustainable to the table. You have to bring something that's sustainable. And
Yeah.
I think All Star could have been sustainable if Sony put more money into the game, but they didn't want to. Right? It is what it is. It sucks, but it happened. And I think Warner Brothers could have done the same thing with Multiverses, but they for whatever reason they decided we'll just all right we'll just try a different strategy, and I hope it works. And like I said, I want to see how it goes, but the way they approached the news of the game shutting down, I did not like that.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. So whatever, it is what it is.
All right, so we're pretty much done with this topic. So good luck to DC, Warner Brothers, or all this gaming designers, programmers that's going to pretty much start over. Good luck to every single one of you guys, and I really do hope the game succeeds. And we'll just see what happens. But as far as this year, like it's not going to happen. Too bad it won't because Evo is coming this year. Everybody's excited for the Evo that's coming. I'm excited for CEO that's going to be coming in a couple months.
Yeah.
So all this stuff is happening now. So if they're going to wait till next year, like it has to be top performing type of game. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully it's done right. So on to the next topic. We're going to sporting news now, and I really wanted to get at Jimmy Butler. I really wanted to get at Jimmy Butler. But before we do, I am curious what your thoughts are of the direction where the Miami Heat is going. Like, how do you feel about them so far?
They are a team. They're mediocre. That's what they are. I think
Oh,
they're a couple games.
I didn't expect that, but okay.
No, I'm not gonna blow smoke up your ass. The team is mediocre. They're on a 2 game losing streak, and let's go to the standings right now.
Okay.
All right, let me prop this up. Right now, obviously the Bucks are number one,
Mm-hmm.
the Celtics number two, Sixers number three. The Heat are at number seven. They are
Let me take a look at this. I could have sworn they were number 6. They're number 7 right now.
yeah,
Oh my
they're at
god.
7. They are 2.5 games back of Brooklyn. And mind you, Brooklyn has literally they lost all their superstars. Mind you, they're
All
still
of the superstars.
yeah
Right. Right.
yeah they're still 2 games back of them, and they are 1.5 games up on Atlanta, and they're basically in the play-in right now. They are in the play-in right now.
Yes.
Now, as far as the team goes, Butler, I know you're gonna get at him, but Butler's been their best player this year. Bam Adebayo has struggled since the All Star break. I don't know if because he's playing next to Kevin Love, but he has struggled since the All Star break. And I am done with having a team littered with G Leaguers. I'm done with it. You know what I mean? It's a cool story. Gabe Vincent, it's a nice story. He's not a starting point guard. He's not a starting point guard. Neither is Kyle Lowry.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever they need to
So you
do,
giving up on Kyle Lowry too?
I mean, he's old. He's done. He's washed. I don't mind him being on the team, but he's not a starter. He's not a starter. What they need to do, they need to find a starting point guard. I don't know where, but you need to find a starting point guard. They have their bench is garbage, and I mean that's pretty much it. They're an average team. They're an
Okay.
average team. So
Yes. Looking at this conference right now. I was
go
on.
ahead.
I was on. Oh, get rid of that little bar right there that says hide and
Okay.
stop sharing. Yeah. I wanna because I wanna because it's covering the Bulls record and this is what I'm trying to see something now. If the play-in has started right now,
Mm-hmm.
I I would even bet I would safely say that they're going to make it in the play-in and make it into the actual playoffs. Like, I think they're far better than the rest of the guys that's underneath them. I do.
Not Toronto.
You don't think they're better than Toronto?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Um. Here, the thing that I'm confused by because when I look at the roster, when I look at the roster, I think even anybody, even a casual, would assume that the Heat would at the very least be far better than the Nets after they had lost everybody. You would assume that after all the drama that they had, and then they got rid of James Harden, you get rid of Kyrie Irving, you get rid of Kevin Durant, you get rid of all of these elite players, and you can't even pass them. That this is the problem. This is the reason why I wanted to ask you about the team because I find that to be unexcusable.
Now, the funny thing is, they've lost to both versions of the New Jersey Nets. The one with all the stars and one with none of them. So
That's the only thing that frustrates me. You cannot have the freaking Nets team who lost all of their elite players. We're talking about elite.
now,
Top
mind
of
you,
the food chain.
now mind you, they were on a like a 4 or 5 game losing streak before they came to Miami,
Hmm.
and on Udonis Haslam Day, they kicked our ass. I think they won by double digits. And guess what happened the next day?
What happened?
They lose to Orlando.
And Orlando right now is on. They're 32 and 44.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, and the thing is that when you look at this team, like I said, their offense is a little bit better than it was in the beginning of the year, but their defense is no good because you have Kevin Love on there and he's washed, but he's starting, right?
Yeah.
You have Gabe Vincent who's not a starter, and your top three guys have to play like top guys in order for you guys to win. And right now, the only guy who can do that consistently is still Jimmy Butler.
You think he's the only one that could do it?
Right now, he's been the only one that can be consistent with it. Tyler's been fine, but Bam has really struggled. And it's not a coincidence that he started struggling with Kevin Love next to him on the starting lineup. It's just something. There's something they're not meshing well together.
Well, he's still averaging the same amount of points even before the All Star break, isn't he? Like,
No,
isn't he
no.
like 20 and 10, something like that?
Yeah, overall, yeah, but over the last since the All Star break, he's been averaging about 17 or 18. And
Okay.
the rebounds has gone down because that's partly because of Kevin Love. But he hasn't been as good. He hasn't been as good.
Wow.
And defensively in general, we've been bad. So
Well, I think defensively he's been fine.
who?
Bam.
Oh yeah, he's fine. But the team in general is not good defensively.
Well, okay, yeah, I'll give you that. But as far as the other guy, Tyler Hero, he's still averaging 20 points. I thought too.
Yeah, but the thing is that like there'll be some games where he's just very inefficient, and the part of his game that he should have been better at is getting to the free throw line. But he is the best free throw shooter in the league by percentage.
Oh, I thought it was Kevin Durant.
I mean probably it's Kevin Durant, but he's definitely in there. He's shooting like 93% from the free throw line,
Okay.
right? But the problem is he doesn't get there enough. He
Yeah,
doesn't get there.
yeah. You gotta take advantage of that.
Yeah.
You gotta take advantage of that. And look, I think it's really sad to see that a team who went to the finals just a couple years ago went to the finals. Yeah, you took them to a game 6, you lost, whatever, and then you were just one game shot away of beating Boston, to where now you're supposed to be continuously supposed to be progressing after that. I mean, look at everybody else. Look, the Bucks, they've been just destroying the whole entire league, especially after the All Star break.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? The Celtics are playing great. Sixers, I mean, they've been a little up and down in my opinion. Cavaliers, I'm actually surprised at. I
I'm
did
not,
not expect
I'm
them to.
not surprised. I knew they would be better. I definitely with Donovan Mitchell, I knew they would be better.
You knew they'd be better than Miami.
Not Miami, not better than Miami. I didn't think
But see,
that.
that's
I knew they would be better.
well, see, that's what I'm saying. I expected to, at the very least, I expected Miami to be where the Cavaliers is at,
Yeah.
the least. I expect them to be better than New York. I expect them to be better than the Nets, especially with all the elite players being gone. I expect them to be the three teams that are ahead of them right now. They have no excuse. Not with the roster that they have with Jimmy Butler, Hero, and Bam Adebayo.
Yeah.
And I know you're saying that Kevin Love is washed and Kyle Lowry, you probably think that he's washed too.
Yeah,
But to
absolutely.
me, I think their roster overall is better than everybody else. They should be in the fourth spot, not the Cavaliers.
No, I don't agree with that. The Cavaliers has good young pieces, right? Cavaliers had good young pieces. I mean, the Knicks. I gotta give it up to the Knicks. They made some good moves in the trade deadline, getting Josh Hart, who's a good player. Plus, Julius Randle's been great. Jalen Brunson was I would argue the best free agent pickup um this year.
You didn't really want to give Randall any credit before.
He's a good player, but I don't know. I think that I don't think he's as good as people make him out to be, but I can't deny he's been great this year for them. And then I mean, currently the Nets don't have a better roster, but
Not even
they have better. I guarantee you, they have a better bench than Miami. They have a better bench than Miami. And
Mm.
then look at the team behind them. Like, I mean, the fact that the Atlanta is eighth, that's a disappointment for them.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, they fired their coach again a couple weeks ago. They fired their coach again. So you have that. Atlanta, Toronto. I'm surprised. Like we had played them last, and they kind of kicked our ass. And I'm surprised they're not as good as. I'm surprised they're been mediocre all year.
Yeah.
Apparently, Fred VanVleet he struggled this year, but they have Siakam, and Siakam is good. But and they have Scotty Barnes who's good. So I don't know why they're average. And then the Bulls, yeah, that team's no good. But guess what?
What's
We
up,
haven't. I don't think we beat them this year. We have,
Chicago?
yeah, I don't think we beat Chicago this year.
Hmm. I'll have to go back and look, but
Yeah, I have to go back and look also. But yeah, they're not good. They're not any good. But we haven't been able to beat them. We haven't beat the Nets at all this year. The Knicks have beaten us 3 games to 1.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this team is average, and I expect if they do make it to the playoff, the official playoff, it's gonna be one and done. Because if they beat Atlanta, if the playoff started today, they'll be in the play-in. I think they'll beat Atlanta, but then after that, they have to play the Celtics, and the Celtics are a better team than we are.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I don't. Looking at this standings right now, I don't see them. I don't see them beating anybody if the playoff were to start. I don't see them beating the Celtics, and even if they went up, they're not beating the Sixers either.
No,
So
no, they're not. They're not.
yeah, so
So
they'll be at the first round. But all right, so enough about that conference. Let's get to the to the main topic here.
yeah. Oh, before you do, let me read it. Let me read this.
Hmm.
Critical drop. No love for Tyler Hero.
Well, like I said,
I'm a big fan of Tyler Hero, but
well,
he hasn't made the progression that he should have been making right now in his fourth year.
well. Here's the thing: critical drop. I honestly believe that because it's funny. Hoovy had actually made a comment on Twitter, and I actually commented him on his Twitter feed where I said that you really expect Tyler Hero to be like this elite star? I forgot what I said,
Mm-hmm.
but you pretty much had said that he should continuously to progress. And I think what I pretty much said is that if he's averaging 20 points, I mean I think that's the best that you going to get out of Tyler Hero. I know everyone was talking about earlier on about their guys gonna be the new splash builders, yada yada yada, this and that.
No, I
I
I
mean,
never said that about him.
but you heard about that though. Didn't you hear about it?
Uh, it's why he's out there. You have some
Well,
heat.
it was out there. You had guys saying that him and what's his name was going to be the new splash builders. But look, to me, do I think he has opportunities to improve? Yes, I think he's a really good sharpshooter. I just think that he's just constantly, been too inconsistent to even being considered. Oh, he's going to be a great all star, in my opinion. But no, there's still love for him. I mean, he's averaging 20 points. Like, I mean, he's at least doing his job as far as scoring points. It's just that everything else, I don't think he's been that good. I think
Is
his
he's the same player he was last year. And when you go from the bench to being a starter, you have to be better. You have to be better. Like, and you talking about how you want to be a starter. Well, you got if you're when you're a starter, you gotta be a great starter.
agreed.
And Malta said Jimmy Butler is a great player, but his off the court antics has held his team back. I mean, like I said, he's been their best player over the All Star break. I don't think the off the court stuff matters. At least I don't really care about them. And as long as the Heat don't care, then that's all that really matters. The problem with this team right now is one, they can't play defense, and they have no one reliable coming off the bench. No one reliable coming off the bench. And point guard play is trash. Been bad. It is what it is. Man, really, let's go on with the Jimmy Butler thing.
Okay, so it's time for me to go off on Jimmy Butler, and I'm going to assume that you're going to defend him, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, right? So I'm going to share this, and I wanted to tell everybody this, that there are some people. I'm not going to name who they are, but there were some people that were saying that he could win a championship if he is the best player in the team. People have said that. Now he was close during the bubble. He was very close. But when I look back in recent past with all the teams that he has been in, whether it was with the Heat, the 76ers, um, he was with Chicago, and I think wasn't he with the Timberwolves also? I think
Mm-hmm.
yeah, with the Timberwolves. He had great players around him. Let's not act like he didn't have great players around him. He has. He had great players around him, but unfortunately, despite all of that, he hasn't won a championship. And and when it comes to this is what really ticks me off. So can you see the headline?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the headline says Jimmy Butler admits he doesn't start playing for real, quote unquote, until after the All Star break. Now, to me, before I read, now to me, Jimmy Butler is one of those rough riders, if you will. He's
Mm-hmm.
one of those rough riders that doesn't take crap from anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't take crap from anyone. He to me, he's kind of like a Kevin Garnett, Alonzo Mourning, somewhat of a Kobe Bryant, Ron Artest, like those type of guys who can play defense, guys who could score, and who are pretty much rough riders and can also display good leadership. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, but when it comes to this is where I'm very very disappointed. Come on, like, isn't this going to load up? Let me see. Okay, here it is. So while Butler may say he's now playing for real, it's more that he's finding another gear than just starting to try. Heat fans know that Butler gives a supreme effort night and night out for his squad, and he's one of the best two-way players in the NBA. I agree with that. I think he plays great offense and great defense. Yes. However, since the season All Star break, Butler has kicked things into another gear and has pulled Heat closer to the playoff race in the Eastern Conference. Miami, who entered Thursday NBA action as the seventh seed, could move into the number six spot if the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Brooklyn Nets on Thursday night. Since the break, Butler appeared in all 15 of Miami Heat games, averaging 26.3 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 5 assists per game while shooting an insanely impressive 60.5% from the field and 52.6% from beyond the arc. Those numbers are above Butler's season average of 22.9, 6.1 rebounds, 5.1 assists per game. Now, before I continue reading, everyone, even a casual in their right mind, will look at these numbers and say these are very impressive numbers.
Mm-hmm.
60%, shooting 60%, now averaging 26 points per game, 5.3 assists. These are fantastic numbers, all star numbers. The problem that I have is if he now you're going to disagree with me, I'm sure. If he was playing like this from Jump Street, they would have been obviously been in a much better seating right now. They would be in a better seat. I don't want to hear about trying to be better. I don't want to hear about seeding if you were not playing like this from Jump Street. You see, this is the reason why I appreciate guys like Giannis. I appreciate guys like John Morant. And I don't mean just by the athleticism. Do you want to know the reason
Really
why?
gonna use John Morant as an example?
No, no. Listen. Do you want to know the reason why people like Patrick Beverly are being talked about in sports media? It's not because of his offense. It's because he constantly put effort and energy on his defense.
That's not true either.
Well, no, no, it is true. Why do you think people keep constantly talk about him, despite the fact that he averages less than 10
He's
points
an
a game?
attention whore. That's why.
Oh,
He's an
come on, man. I would have agreed with you if he never made a defensive first team.
Listen, listen.
If he have never made it, I would agree
Drew
with you.
Holiday is just as good as defender, if not better defender than him, and yet he doesn't get nowhere near the amount of attention. Why? Because he don't seek it like Patrick Beverley does. That's a fact.
So you think news media, sports media talk about him because he seeks attention?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you think his defense is better than Beverly's?
A lot better.
Hmm.
Like I said, I don't think Patrick Beverley is as good a defender as you guys make him out to be. He's not.
I mean, for you to say that, despite the fact of him, so he should have never been in the defense first team, no? All defensive team. He should have never been in. That's what you're saying?
I'm not. I mean, honestly, where was Drew Holiday at? Was Drew Holiday there?
I can't remember if Drew Holiday was there. Do you remember?
I don't remember, but no, they were playing different conferences last year. Yeah, I don't think Patrick Beverley is a first team all defensive player. I don't think he is.
Mm-hmm.
But hold on, I gotta do something real quick. Give me one moment.
No, go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna continue reading while you're going, whatever you're doing. All right. So the 6-time All-Star has shown that he can carry the Heat into the playoffs, leading the team to the NBA Finals in 2019-2020 season in the NBA Orlando Flea bubble. He also was the driving force in Miami's run to the Eastern Conference Finals last season. Butler's aggression on offense seems to be going to another level right now, and it could be a part of this second gear he is reaching. The Heat star is taking just 13.3 shots per game since the All-Star break, but he's getting to the free throw line 11.2 times per game. All right, I mean that's also a plus. On the season, Butler is averaging 8.8 free throws attempts per game, so he's certainly increasing his output from the charity stripe down the stretch of this season. The Heat needs everything they can get from Butler as the team is hoping to avoid the play-in tournament in the East. As long as Butler keeps playing like this, Miami will be a tough matchup for anyone this postseason. Not if they're facing the Bucks, the Sixers, or the Celtics, they're not going anywhere. I'm sorry, but you may say that he will be a tough matchup, but if he has to face any of those teams in the first round, they're not going anywhere. They're out. Okay, they're out. It doesn't matter how great he plays. He's not better than that team is not better than the top 3 teams right now in the East. Are you back yet? All right, who's not back yet? Now here's what I also wanted to say, guys. Now in this article, it says that that he pretty much says that he doesn't really take his game seriously before the All-Star before the All-Star game, right? Before the All-Star break. Do you know what that means, everyone? I'll tell you what that means. And I know, and I wish Hoovy was here to hear this. But when you say that you are not taking your game seriously until after the All-Star game, do you know what that tells me? That means one thing and one thing only. He is load managing while he's on the court. That's what he's doing. He's load managing. And when you decide to load manage, you are automatically going to compromise the whole entire team. You are. Because when you don't put your best foot forward on the team on a daily basis, you're going to lose a lot of games. I mean, it's just common sense. There is absolutely no way anybody, any Miami Heat fan could tell me that if he was averaging 26 or at the very least 24 points, let's say 22 points or whatever, and 6 rebounds and 5 assists from day one, there's absolutely no way that team is being in the 7th seed right now. They're not. They're not. Which is why this, I hate to say this, but if he's telling the absolute truth, this is partially his fault. It's partially his fault because you're just admitting that you're not putting your best foot forward while in the beginning of the whole season. You didn't put your best foot forward in the season, despite the fact that you're getting guaranteed money. despite the fact that fans are going out there to see you and support you, you're not playing your best basketball. Like, come on, man. Like, you cannot sit here and take people's money and then you're not playing your best basketball. You only want to play your best basketball half of the season. That's unacceptable to me. In any workplace, that's unacceptable. You can't do that. You can't do that. Now,
Okay.
who we? Oh, did you hear everything? Did you hear everything I just said?
No, no, no. I apologize. I had to do something real quick. What
Okay,
you?
so
Yeah.
what I said, and this is probably what is going to piss you off, and I'm actually looking for your response.
Mm-hmm.
When he said that he doesn't take his game seriously after the All Star break, I said that only means one thing, and that means that while he was on the court, no, let me start over. What he was doing is load managing while he was on the court. That's
Mm-hmm.
what he was doing. He was load managing. This is a different type of load. We're not talking about just sitting on the bench. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about resting players. He was load managing while he was on the court.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing. And this is and once again, this is the reason why I love guys like Giannis. I appreciate guys like, and I, even though we criticize him, people always love the fact that Russell Westbrook put his full effort.
Mm-hmm.
People love people. Also, people love Russell Westbrook, and I do too. You even back in the OKC days, even when Kevin Durant was there, I always loved Russell Westbrook because he always put his best. Kobe Bryant always put his best. Kevin Garnett always put his best. You
Oh,
appreciate.
don't act like you were such a huge Kobe Bryant fan. Don't act like you were a huge Kobe Bryant fan.
I wasn't. I wasn't. Yeah, you're right. I wasn't a huge huge Kobe Bryant fan, but at the very least, he did put his best out there. Kevin
No,
Garnett, he put his best out there.
that's not what I always heard from you when it came to Kobe Bryant.
Did I ever say that he was lazy?
No, you
I
said he
never
was.
said that.
You said he was an overrated defender. That's what you said.
Oh, yeah, I did say that. Yeah, yeah, I did say that. Yes, yes. But overall, though, Havenel, when you decide not to take the game seriously, you are going to be in the same seed where they're currently in, if not worse. And let me tell you why this also pissed me off. Get ready for this, Hoovy. Get ready
Mm-hmm.
for this, because I want you to hold your thought, because I know you're going to defend him. But before you do, I have something else. I have something else that I want to show you. Now, keep in mind, pay attention, everybody, to the headline. Jimmy Butler admits he doesn't start playing for real until after the All Star break. No, so keep that in mind. So let's go back and rewind the clock just a little bit. Let's rewind the clock, because I did some research on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jimmy Butler rips Chicago Bulls effort. I want to play with guys that care, man. That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
This was back in 2017. Okay. Now, I'm just going to read just the partial part of it, just so you guys can get understanding where I'm coming from here. So Jimmy Butler, Chicago Bulls Jimmy Butler, number 21, and Boston Celtics Al Horford during the first quarter of the basketball game Tuesday, October 27th, 2016. Things are not going particularly well in Chicago. And Chicago Bulls, and remember, he played for the Chicago Bulls also, everybody, just in case
He was
anybody
drafted by
didn't.
them.
What happened?
He was drafted by them.
Mm-hmm. Bulls superstar Jimmy Butler has had just about enough. After the Bulls dropped 119-114 loss to Atlantic Hawks on Wednesday, Butler expressed his displeasure with the team to the media. The full quote. Here's the full quote, everybody. This is where I'm going to catch his hypocrisy. If you aren't pissed off after you lose any game, if you aren't pissed off that you lost, then something is wrong. This is what you are supposed to wait. This is what you're supposed to love to do. I don't think everybody looks at it that way. I want to play with guys that care, that play hard, that want to do well for this organization, that want to play games, do whatever it takes to win. To win. Now, I'm not going to read this whole thing because this is a very
No,
old.
no, no. Continue reading.
You want me to continue reading?
Yeah. This is the last. This is the last. Just finish that paragraph
How far you want me to read?
until the end of that paragraph.
Okay. Let me see where I left off. Okay. Do whatever it takes to win. Who cares who shot it? When we're winning, everybody looks great. Everybody does what they're supposed to do. I don't think that's happening right now. I really don't.
I'm gonna take a mental note of that. So
You?
yeah, I'm gonna keep a mental note of that. Continue.
Okay. The game was indeed an unusual, painful loss.
No, no, you don't
The
have to.
game,
You don't have to read the whole thing.
no, you said continue.
No, no, no. I'll continue with your Jimmy Butler bashing.
Oh, okay. So tough loss, that hurt for sure. But I play hard to win every second I'm out there, and grind every day for everything I have. So let's go back to the previous article that I just read.
Mhm.
So what is the difference between what we read here and what is the difference between what we read when he was playing for Chicago? He said that you have to put your best effort and you have to win, and to your best effort to win.
Mhm.
Here, he said he plays seriously after the All Star game. After, not before. After, after. So I don't want to hear anything about you being serious, or I don't want to hear anything about you saying that, oh, we have to play our best, and or any whining or any complaining, where you did that when you was in Chicago, but here for the Heat. And I expect you to be pissed off about this movie. I expect you to be pissed off.
I'm not.
You supposed to have the exact same mentality like you did when you was in Chicago. Yes. Yes. And don't give me this crap about, oh, well, he was a lot younger back then, blah 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 blah, whatever. No, that's not an excuse. If you want to do well, if you want to win championships, if you want the whole entire team to do well, you have to be the one to take charge because you're the leader in that team. And if you being the leader in that team is not taking it seriously in the first half of the season, why everybody else should if they have to follow your lead? Why? Because why? Because why? Because you're an older player. You can do what you want. You have perks. But get the hell out of here, man. You supposed to be that rough rider, that leader, like everybody else that I had mentioned in the past, the Kobe Bryants, the Kevin Garnett, etc., etc. You're supposed to be the guy to lead the whole entire team, the whole entire organization, like you did during the bubble. And people discredit you because, oh well, that was the bubble. That doesn't really count. LeBron James winning that doesn't really count, etc., etc., etc. Who nobody count that season. It doesn't matter. You nearly took them to the promised land, and you almost took them to the promised land last year. And now to hear this from you, this is the type of stuff that I don't like. I don't want to watch mediocrity. And then when I hear stupid remarks, even the remarks from you, oh, it's all that matters is the finals. All that matters is the playoffs. That's what it matters. That's what it matters. Well, then don't complain that you're in the lower seed. Don't complain that your team is nothing but mediocrity if all you care about is just the playoffs and the NBA finals. Every game's supposed to matter. People are paying tickets to watch you play. You are getting guaranteed money. You are making millions and millions of dollars. You're getting all this fame. You better play hard every single game. You have to. And I guarantee you, you could disagree if you want, and all the other Heat fans could disagree if they want. But I guarantee you this, Hoovy. If he was playing like this, where are those numbers at? If he was playing like this from Jump Street, they would not have been in the seventh seed right now. My guess, they would at the very least be on the fourth seed. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I can talk now.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead and defend him because I know you will. Go ahead.
It's not about defending him. It's about understanding what he's actually saying. Now, you would you agree? Would you say that he played harder last year? That he played hard every game last year?
Every single game?
Yeah.
Sure.
No, you don't know that. You're not because you don't watch them every day. You don't watch every game. I do. What Jimmy Butler is,
Mm-hmm.
he's a guy who is he's a decent offensive player, very good offensive player, who knows how to get to the foul line. But his mark and during the regular season is defense. That's where you see him try hard. The hardest is on defense. No, he doesn't try hard all the time. Because like I said, it's a 82 game season, and he'll admit himself that he's not the most talented player out there. His thing is that he'll outwork you He'll try to outwork you every night. And the difference between Chicago Bulls Jimmy Butler and Miami Heat Jimmy Butler is what 6, 7, 8 years.
Okay.
Things change. Things change in that time frame. Whether you want to admit it or not, things change in that time frame. Now like because you said that he criticized the Bulls teammates after a loss. He's done that plenty of times. After Heat games, he's done that plenty of times after Heat games. But the Miami Heat embrace it because they know what they'll get from Jimmy Butler. They know what they'll get from him. And mind you, why do you think Jimmy Butler is so? Why do you think when Jimmy Butler has a great playoff game, people are seemingly still are surprised about how great he is during the playoffs?
Why are people surprised at it?
Mm-hmm. You
I
want to
mean,
know why?
why?
Because the way that he played, he turns it up to a next gear during the playoffs. He's always done that. Even all the way back to Chicago games, he plays his best when the lights are brightest. That's always been his MO. Up until last year, the only time the Timberwolves had made it got to the playoffs throughout all those years was because of Jimmy Butler. It wasn't because of Wiggins. Like around that time, Wiggins was still considered a disappointment. And I don't consider as great as Anthony Towns is, I don't consider him to be a winning player. A winning player is
in other words, you don't think he could win a championship by being the best player?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. But the only time up until last year, and ironically enough, it was when another guy who had that same mentality, Anthony Edwards, where you could see, they struggled this year, but like you see the success is when you have guys who are winning players, and that's what Jimmy Butler is. Is he among the elite players like Giannis? No, he's not. He's not. And he never ever pretended to be that. What he is a guy who when the game shines bright
hold on. So let me stop you. I call BS on that because when he went to the finals, wasn't he a top 10 player? Wasn't he considered a top 10 player? Wasn't he considered a top 10 player when he took the Heat to the finals?
I don't know. You had to ask yourself that. Did you have him? Have you ever done a top 10 list and added him on your top 10 players list?
I could have sworn that he was top 10 when he took the Heat to the finals. Absolutely. You didn't think so?
What about before the season? What about during the season?
Was he top 10 during the season?
Yeah.
Man, I would have to remember the list that we put in back then. I would have to look at that list.
On most people's list, he's not. On most people's list, he's not. And part of the reason why is because during the regular season, he'll have some games where he's not as aggressive as you probably would want him to be. But the reason why that is because he wants to get his teammates involved. Like he wants to get Tyler Hero involved. He wants to get Bam involved. Like he trusts his 3-point shooters and stuff like that. That's been his MO from jump. Like he want the reason why he was so hard on the Timberwolves players is because in the Chicago Bulls player because he felt that they weren't trying hard enough.
Well, he did the same thing in the Sixers too, mind you.
Yeah, and they were a magic shot away from going further than they've ever been. And who was an integral part of that team? It wasn't Ben Simmons. It was Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler won them playoff games.
Yes.
Not Ben Simmons.
I can agree with that. Yes, absolutely.
So again, look, this is something I guarantee you a lot of players have the same mindset that Jimmy does. I guarantee you a lot of players do. They just don't have the courage to say it like he does. Because he's someone who he's a free thinker. He don't care what people think about him.
Mm-hmm.
But based on the time that I've watched him play, he always puts in the effort. 9 times out of 10, he puts in the effort. Guys are always gonna have off games. It is what it is. Some guys, and depending on their star quality, some have more than others. Not saying he's perfect, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to playoff performers, yeah, I wanted Jimmy Butler on my team. So like,
So you have absolutely no problem of what he said.
no, I no, because I think lots of guys are the same way, and also take into account Jimmy Butler does have an injury history. He'll miss like 15 to 20 games a year due to injuries,
Mm-hmm.
and part of the reason why he gets hurt is because he's always trying to get he embraces contact, and when you embrace contact, when you're constantly getting hit, you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get hurt, and that's what he does. So I can understand if there's a game where if Tyler is getting off or Bam is playing well, you want to feed those guys the ball. I can understand that.
Okay.
But if he yeah, would we be better if we play like this, every game? Yeah, sure.
Of
But
course you
I also think
don't say yeah, sure. You know for a fact that you would be.
yeah, we probably would be. But I also think that right now he's playing the best. He's playing the best basketball he is in the season, and we're 2 games under 500 since the All Star break. Why? Because everyone else ain't pulling their weight, and that's the main issue. In Chicago, he was the star there. He was the best player there, but he felt like the rest of the guys weren't pulling their weight. The reason why he was so mad at Cat and Wiggins was because he felt like those guys were wasting their potential. He felt like they were wasting their potential. And same thing in Philadelphia. Like Joel Embiid loves him.
Yeah, I remember you talked
Why?
about him.
Because he holds him accountable.
Yes.
So again, like you can get upset with him over this all you want, but at the end of the day, like, dude, I guarantee you there are far more guys in the league who would rather play with Jimmy than not play with him. And there's a lot more people who don't take this article seriously. Because at the end of the day, like when it come time for playoffs, there's a reason why they call him playoff Jimmy. Because it's a different animal. And we saw that in the playoffs, during the bubble. We saw that last year. We saw it last year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not worried about him. Well, you know who I'm worried about? This fucking guy right here on the side screen. We gave this dude Duncan Robinson.
Duncan Robinson.
We gave this dude $90 million just to be nothing more than a 3-point shooter who's stuck on the bench. That's what pisses me off. Gave him all that fucking money just to be on the bench.
Okay, so you're pissed off with this guy.
Yeah, I'm pissed off with the other team because I know what I'm going to get from Jimmy Butler. I know he can be great.
Mm-hmm.
But guys like Duncan Robinson, and again, I don't want to put too much. I don't want to put too much on Max Strus and Gabe Vincent and these G League guys, but they're G Leaguers, and yet we have a plethora of them on the team. And what happened when you depend on G Leaguers? Yeah, they're gonna be G Leaguers.
What's you've been watching a whole lot more games than I have. What's Victor have been doing?
Oladipo.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't played and he's been DMP coach's decision for a couple games. And the last 2 games that I saw him play, he wasn't very good. But I don't know why he hasn't played. I think ever since Kyle Lowry came back, he's been kind of his role has shrunk. And I get why, because they need an actual point guard. And Kyle Lowry, even though he's washed, he's still an actual point guard. But Oladipo hasn't been good, and they bring in Kevin Love, who's not been good. Cody Zeller's been fine, but come on, it's Cody Zeller. Like, there's so many other issues that this team has outside of Jimmy Butler.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm not gonna get so. That's why I'm not gonna get so crazy over. That's why I'm not gonna get so crazy over what's going on.
So okay, so you're not upset that he doesn't put his 110% in the first half of the season. What you're more upset about are guys like Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero.
Not,
Um,
no, no. My thing with Tyler is that I wish he was better.
oh, okay.
I wish he was better, but I would absolutely still have him on my team. And even Bam, even though he struggled, yeah, I would like to have Bam on my team. The problem is these other guys, man. These other guys, because you only have one job: make your shots. And these guys all year had not been making their shots, and in some cases they're not good defenders. So when they don't make their shots, they're useless. They're useless. So it's like, like again, there's Jimmy Butler is the least of their problems.
Okay. Okay. Well, I personally think, although I mean, I kind of had a feeling you was going to defend him, but yeah, I mean, look, I personally think that if he would play hard from Jump Street, I think the team would be in a better position that they are now. I do believe that. Now, if you disagree with that, that's fine. Like, it's perfectly fine if you think they would still remain in the exact same seating if he had played from
So
if he played.
my question is would they be a title contender if he played like this? The answer is no. The answer is no, because like I said, the there look at he's been playing off the wall ever since the All Star break, and they're 2 games under 500.
Yeah, I mean, there's still time. I mean, there's still time.
Yeah, of course, there's still time, but like at the end of the day, you are who you are. You are what your record says you are. You are what your record says you are. And if you're telling me that you go through all this and you're still a 7 seed, I mean that means you're a 7 seed, and that you're gonna get crushed by Boston in the first round.
Well, I think they have an opportunity to, at the very least, surpass, the Nets. I do believe that. And look, like I said, there's no excuse. You have to be better than the Nets. You have to be. There's no way you could determine that roster is better than Miami Heat's roster, especially with all
It is.
the.
I'd rather have the Nets bench than the bullshit we have in ours.
I mean, that's fine. It still doesn't change the fact that they lost all the elite players. It still doesn't change that fact.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse. You have to be in the sixth seed and not participate in the playing tournament. But like, look, it's fine. Like, I see what you're saying. You want to put the blame on other players, the bench, and everybody else, especially Duncan Robinson, which is fine. I 100% understand. But once again, I do think we probably would have talked about we would have had a completely different discussion if Jimmy Butler had played like an All Star day one. But that's all. But that's it. That's all. That's all. Let's go to the next topic.
No, let's read some comments.
All right.
Critical drop. He was R.I.P. Bucks. Boston 100 Bucks 60 61. Yeah, they're getting their asses kicked, and they got their asses kicked at home too. That's crazy. Joshua's in the chat. How you doing, bro? Wendell C is in the chat. How you doing?
What's going on, Josh? Nephew is here. What's up, man?
And Joshua also says that Jimmy was definitely top 10 when he took that T team to the finals. He was averaging like 30 and 10.
That's what I thought. Like,
No, but I'm talking about during the season. Did you guys ever consider him a top 10 player? Because it's easy to do that when he's in the finals. But I'm talking about during the season. Did you guys ever consider him to be a top 10 player in the NBA at any time? At any time.
well, I think the most important person that should answer that is you. Like, where do you put him?
I've never rated him to be a top 10 player.
Even during the finals.
No, I mean, dude, during the finals, like you like, to me, playoff Jimmy is a thing. That's what I've always said. Playoff Jimmy is a thing. But when it comes to like, I don't. But see, the difference is I don't change my ranking based on who makes it to the finals or not. I've never been that type of guy. I've never been the type of guy. If you talk about in the playoffs during the bubble,
Mm-hmm.
to me, I would say he was the best player in the bubble. To me, he was.
Wait. You think he was the best player in the bubble? So you think he was better than LeBron?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. That's pretty bold, but okay, okay, all right.
And LeBron, obviously, he was great, but like I think Jimmy Butler was the best player in the bubble. At least he's the one that I felt like had the most impact.
Hmm.
So and then you look at actually no, let me stop fucking around. I think to me, I think it was Anthony Davis. I think it was
Okay,
Anthony Davis
okay.
because
So Anthony,
you look at the impact he had when he stayed healthy, and even though LeBron James had all the numbers, I thought the most important player in that series was Anthony Davis because the way he defended and guarded the paint. So
okay. Well, in my opinion, look, I know I hear what you're saying, Havinel, but I do believe that when you take your team to the finals, you have to remember you have to take into an account of all the playoff games you also played, all the playoff games that you played that led you to the finals. So I
absolutely.
think that's more than enough games because remember you have to at the very least play the team 4 times when you sweep them. Let's say if you just swept the team across the board, that's 4 games, per round at the very least. I think that's enough games plus the finals to determine that okay, you know what, that solidifies of you at the very least being a top 10 player. Now, if you don't think so, that's fine. But I do think going to the playoffs is enough for you to jump ahead of other guys just for the sake of you making the playoffs. In my opinion, if you disagree, that's fine.
Look, let me ask you this question: if Jimmy Butler played the way that he plays like during the playoffs, would you put him in the top 10?
Absolutely.
All right, name your top 10. Name your top 10.
Like if he was playing like this, right? You talking about if
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
playing
you
like
play
this
like
all
this.
season?
Yeah, you play like this. But
Yeah, like because
name your top 10.
if he played like this all season, he will probably be an MVP candidate.
All right, no, name your top 10.
Right now, number one is Giannis. Right now,
Giannis.
right? Yeah, number one is Giannis.
FYI, his brother got ejected for headbutting Blake Griffin.
Headbutting.
Mm-hmm.
So we're headbutting people now. No, all right. After the podcast, I'm gonna go on YouTube to look at that. I want to. I shouldn't be laughing. That's not cool. But
I love how we talk about nepotism, right? I mean, you think his brother is good enough to be in the league? Because I don't think so.
no. Well, you know what? To be fair, I never ever seen him dribble a basketball. I never seen him play, so I don't know. I
No,
don't know.
because
If
he's only there because Giannis wants him there. That's it.
and that's fair.
All right. So you name Giannis.
Yeah. So I name Giannis. That's number one. Joker. He's number two. Like all the MVP candidates right now, they gotta be at the very least in the top five. So I'm putting MB number three also.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So MB is number three. Number four, I'm putting John Morant.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Number five, I have to put Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
Six, I'm putting Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Seven is the one that I have a hard time with because I want to say Tatum, but I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I will put him above LeBron James. That's I'm stuck between those two
Oh,
right now.
but okay, but who are both of them in your top 10?
Yes.
Okay, so you have so you all right. So let's recap.
Mm-hmm.
You have Giannis, Joker, Embiid,
Mm-hmm.
Curry. Who else did you mention? Oh, Morant,
Yes. KD.
and KD,
Mm-hmm.
LeBron,
Mm-hmm.
and Jason Tatum. That you have eight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So who's number 9?
All right. So number 9 and number 10. Um. Uh. Should I put Jimmy Butler number 9? Oh, you know what? I'll put Jimmy Butler number 10 for right now.
Mm-hmm.
And number 9, I would have to put number 9. I'll have to put I mean, I want to say James Harden, but he has been injured a lot.
Yeah, but when he played, he's been very good.
Yeah, he's leading. Well, you know what? I'll put James Harden because I think he's still leading the whole league in assists.
Okay.
So I'll put James Harden on there.
Okay. So okay.
Now,
So
now, who would you disagree with? Who would you take out?
no, it's not about me. No, I'm just gonna go through a list of players. I'm gonna try to go through these. So So you would have Jalen Brown ahead of you would have Jalen Brown, or you have Jimmy Butler ahead of Jalen Brown.
And you know what's funny? I thought about him too. I honestly thought about him too. Um, Crap, dude. I don't know. I guess so. I guess
Okay.
so.
You would you so James Harden when healthy.
No, James Harden is above Jimmy Butler. Healthy.
James Harden is above Jimmy Butler.
Yes.
Okay. Donovan Mitchell.
Jimmy Butler. Because John Mitchell doesn't play a lick of defense.
Okay. Okay. Julius Randle.
Damn. I'll put Jimmy. I'll put Jimmy. Even though Julius Randle was an All Star and Jimmy was not,
Mm-hmm.
if I had to pick who would I want to be in my team, I'll pick Jimmy, and I think you would too
Over.
over Randle.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Trey Young.
Oh yeah, Jimmy, yeah, for sure.
Pascal Siakam.
Oh crap. Mm. Dude, I don't know, bro. That's a tough one. I don't know. You got me on that one. I'll give you that. You got me on that.
DeMar DeRozan.
No, Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler. Okay. Now I'm gonna go to the Western Conference now. Okay. Who would I consider the best player on the Kings? The best player on the Kings.
That white guy? What's his name?
Sabonis.
Yeah. Oof. You know what? I think he might be better.
De'Aaron Fox.
Butler.
Devin Booker.
Butler.
You would pick Butler over Devin Booker.
Yeah, because his defense. You think Butler? You think Booker is a good defender?
I mean, I don't think he's a terrible defender, but
Yeah. That means it's below. When you say I don't think he's terrible,
I mean,
when you say I don't think he's terrible, he's either average or below average.
that's true. But
Okay, so what's the problem here?
but like,
Come on, Hoovy.
no, but you're talking about a guy in Devin Booker who is an MVP quality player.
I don't even think they consider him MVP at all this year.
Yeah, that's true. But like last year, he was. At least he definitely should have been.
Mm.
All right. Paul George.
Let me think. That's a tough one too, man. They're like real similar players.
Okay.
So I'll probably have to say a tie for them for those two.
Anthony Towns.
Wow. You know what? Who would you choose? I'm curious. Who would you choose?
I'm picking Butler. I'm not a huge fan of Towns.
Okay. I'll pick Butler too.
Anthony Edwards.
I'll pick Butler.
Okay. Anthony Davis.
Okay. Yeah, you got me. Anthony Davis.
Yeah, like you get what I'm saying, right? Like, and there's not shade at Jimmy Butler.
Is it like you're trying to?
No. What I'm saying is that you have all these guys who you would pick ahead of Jimmy Butler, even though when it comes to the playoffs, yeah, I want Jimmy Butler on my team definitely.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But you have all these guys who have more critical acclaim than Jimmy Butler, who have more quote accomplishments than Jimmy Butler. So yeah, like, do I ever think that he was ever people chose him as top 10 player? No, because a lot of people underestimate Jimmy Butler. They underrate him. Because why? Because he's not this guy who's gonna give you 25 every night. He's not a flashy player. He's a guy. He's a grinder.
Yeah, agreed. I agree with that.
So like I said, like to me, here's my overall point. Mm-hmm. To me, he's the least of their problems. In my opinion, he's the least of their problems. They have way worse problems than Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
So that's just, but I was just showing you how a player like, because I always feel like Jimmy Butler has always been overlooked when it
Yeah, he's
comes to being top 10
underappreciated.
player.
Yeah,
Yeah, because and I didn't even mention guys like Kawhi Leonard. Like when he's healthy, yeah, I would pick Kawhi over Jimmy.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, so
And
that's all.
I think you would pick Zion over him also, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I would. If health was if health was the main thing, yeah, I would pick Zion.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so Vito Gorbic, hey bro, do you need a thumbnail designer by any chance? I charge $10 per thumbnail. Do you know who this guy is?
I have an idea. I haven't not really. I have an idea, but
Mm-hmm.
Vito, I mean, I have an idea. I have an idea who you are, but if you're only charging $10, just to do like if you look at our channel, like a whole entire list, like you will see a couple of thumbnails that I did. The only
Mm-hmm.
thing is like it's with two jobs, and then now
Yeah, it's our free. It's our free. I know.
it's extremely hard for me to keep up. But if you want to link up, I mean, yo, I'll pay you $10, and and then some. Like I'll even tip you for it if you could. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you wouldn't mind, right? Who you
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
mind?
yeah. My thing is that you know what I really need. We need someone to do timestamps. We need someone who do timestamps.
Oh, really? You think that
Yeah,
we did that one? Okay.
yeah, we definitely need someone to do timestamps because I
But wait,
want.
you kind of did that before.
Yeah, yeah. It's just been hard to kind of keep up with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so yeah, say Vito, if you're serious, then you know we like Steve. If Steve knows who you are, then get in contact, or if not, then we have our social media. Yeah, so if you're
You know
interested,
what?
let
Yeah,
us know.
I'm gonna put my social media down there. You do the same thing, Juvi, if you want. I'm
Yeah,
gonna put my social media. But if I'm right that I know who you are, Vito. If not, I mean, it is what it is. My apologies. But if I think I know who you are, then for sure, I'll pay you 10 or 15, whatever it is, and then yeah, you could take care of that, for us. It would be greatly appreciated because man, even doing thumbnails, it took me it would take me a while because I want it to look nice. You know what I'm saying? Like I want it to look nice. I want people to be attracted to it when they click on it, etc., etc. So for sure, like if you want to help out, I appreciate it. $10 looks like it's absolutely a fair price. So absolutely yes, I'll pay you $10, and we could link up, tonight or tomorrow, whenever you're available.
yeah,
Money is money. And I'll gladly pay you.
yeah. Okay. Raggy Joe, what's going on? The fuck y'all doing a Thursday on a Thursday here? Oh, that's like if we can't do a show on Monday, we try to pick a different day to do a show basically. And Thursday was the right day for me because I'm off and Steve, you're not doing nothing afterwards. So
Yeah, yeah. I'm not doing anything afterwards. But yeah, what's up to that little Jabanis over there? Yeah, yeah. What's up? Yeah, what's up, man? You little rugrat. Go next.
Malta said Duncan Robinson is averaging 6 points per game, just like Ben Simmons.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, hey, the whole Ben Simmons caught me off guard.
and getting paid $90 million to do so also.
Oh man, you got these guys making millions of dollars, and they're both averaging the same amount of points, and one who barely is even playing, who doesn't even wants to play. That was funny, Malta. You gave me you gave me a good laugh because that is absolutely true. Because I knew Duncan Robinson was only averaging 6, but I just realized that yeah, Ben Simmons is pretty much averaging the same amount of points. Oh man, that it's just unbelievable, man. Like I can't believe Duncan Robinson is only averaging 6 points out of all this time. That dude has so much potential, bro. That's so
So
much
it surprised me because when he's not hitting threes, he can't do nothing else. When he's not hitting threes, he can't do nothing else. He can't defend. Like he tried to pass. I think he's an okay passer.
hmm
He just can't do nothing else.
Yeah,
And we paid him $90 million. So it's like
90 million. $90 million. Oh my goodness, man.
It's frustrating.
What? In your opinion, before we move on, what do you think we should? What do you think should happen? Like, do you think they should cut him, trade him? Like, what do you think?
I don't think they're gonna get much for trading him. I don't know, but to me, you need a point guard. Point blank, period. You need a point guard, a starting point guard, a starting caliber point guard.
Mm-hmm.
So if this idea of getting rid of Kyle Lowry is the only way you can do it, then do it.
Okay.
But Anyway, speaking of Ben Simmons, here's your go.
All right. Hold on. Let me. Still some time for real quick. Real quick.
Okay. Let me see. Well, yeah. So Vito, I would like, and I also like to find any candidates if they want to do like timestamps or whatever. Like, yeah, those are. It's hard to do because, like I said, I'm busy. Either I'm at work or trying to help out a family member and stuff like that. So it's not easy. So if someone wants to volunteer to do that, yeah, we I don't mind paying for that service either. Money is kind of tight right now, but I don't mind paying for that service. So so I mean, on that note, I guess we are going to talk about Ben Simmons because he's going to be out for the rest of the year. Not that many games left, but he wasn't doing anything anyway. So it's not like he's been missed. And I mean, I want to wait till Steve gets back so I can say what I have to say about him because what I think is gonna happen is what I'm gonna say. But I want Steve to be here when he's there because I know he hates Ben Simmons. He hates Ben Simmons. I don't hate Ben Simmons. I just find the situation that he's in to be weird, just weird because a player with all the talent in the world and he's just wasting away. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. But yeah, yeah. It's just crazy how he's just wasting away.
Okay. So we got a couple of topics out of the way. We're 2 hours in. We'll try to make this one quick because we already talked about this guy. For I don't know how long we've been talking about this dude, but we are going to talk about him again. And we all know who he is. He is Ben Simmons. Now before I share the article real quick, here's what really also irritates me about Ben Simmons. This is the thing that also irritates me, right? And I think I mentioned this before, but just in case I didn't, what irritates me the most about Ben Simmons is not just the fact that he doesn't want to shoot or he doesn't want to cooperate, with his teammates or with the coach, especially when he was with the Sixers. What irritates me was that whether if you were the first player or the second best player on the team, then you go and you play with Kevin Durant and you play with Kyrie. So you were most people would say that even the healthy Ben Simmons was probably the third best player. So if that's the case, whether if you were three or two, the pressure is off of you because the top guy was Kevin Durant. You would assume that. I mean, look, I obviously never played in the NBA, obviously, but I would easily assume watching from afar that playing with Kevin Durant and Kyrie, not only would the pressure be off of you, I would assume that the game would be a much easier flow for you because everyone is concentrating on KD and Kyrie. Wouldn't you assume that the game would be so much easier for Ben Simmons because now he basically doesn't have to shoot the ball because you have shooters now. I'm just curious if you ever thought of that or like what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's true, but I also think that was the worst thing that happened to him. I actually think that was the worst thing. I actually think that was the
Wait,
worst thing that happened to him
what do you mean? Explain. What do you mean?
because, like, This guy, all his life, he's always thought to himself, "Oh well, I don't need to learn this. I don't need to do that. I don't need to learn how to shoot. All I gotta do is do my thing, and that's it." Like, no, you need to be put in situations where you are put in a position to where you have to be forced to improve. And the reason why I was so upset with what Steve Nash said originally about, and what Doc Rivers said originally when they came to coach him, was that, oh, Ben just needs to be himself. The others said, no, he don't need to be himself. You're not paying him to be himself. You're paying him to be better.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't, and he's shown that he can't do that. He's regressed.
Yes.
So that's what I mean by that.
Okay. So here's the article that I am looking forward to share with you all. Let's just read it. Probably for the very last time. Oh, and Vito Grubik. Here's my Twitter and my IG. You could reach out to me. So I'm the traditional king on IG, or it'll say Stephen Rain 85, and on IG, no, that's my Twitter account, and on IG it's Stephen Ring 105. So if you want to reach out, please reach out to me. And I'm telling you right now, I will pay you ASAP. All right, I'll pay you ASAP. I'll just give me your Cash App, and then you get your money. Now back to Ben Simmons, right? So Ben, what's this? I hate it when these ads come up as soon as you want to start the topic.
Speaking of LaMelo Ball, like Michael Jordan is thinking about selling that team.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. I didn't want to talk about it yet until it was actually official.
Yeah.
But here it is. So Ben Simmons' first season with the Brooklyn Nets has ended before the regular season does. I like some of these reporters, man, how they write these articles. I like that. Nets coach Jaquez Vaughn, I can never pronounce his name,
You could call him Jock.
announced Tuesday, yeah, thanks, that Simmons will be shut down for the rest of the season because of his lingering back issues. Yeah, lingering back for not playing. Yeah, get the crap out of here. Um, so the news isn't huge surprise given that Vaughn told reporters over the weekend he wasn't expected Ben Simmons to play again this season. Simmons is currently sidelined with the Nets say is nerve
Yeah,
pigment,
yeah, yeah.
the condition where tissue or bone compresses nerve fibers in his back. Simmons has missed 17 straight games and has 33 absences and 75 Nets games this season. For me as a coach, there's some things that I can control, some things that I can't control, Vaughn said on Saturday. What I can't control is the impingement. What I can control is getting this group ready to play. And then, in all honesty, the realism that he's probably not going to join us for the rest of the year certainly will come once he continues to be looked at by specialists. The Nets announced Friday that Simmons will continue being sidelined while we determine the best long term course of treatment. What that means still isn't clear, and the Nets won't know until Simmons is further examined. We're going to lean into the specialists and the consultation, and I think those answers will come from the specialist, Vaughn said then. Simmons is a three-time All-Star who didn't play all of last season. And look, I'm not saying that this is all a lie or that he's faking. It's just that, like, dude, you pretty much had a full year off, nearly twice, and you still having, back problems. Did you hear anything about a back injury when he was in Philadelphia? I didn't hear any back injury. I didn't hear any.
I think I did one time, but
I didn't hear any injury. All I heard was that he was causing running amok when he was in Philadelphia. That he was pretty much causing defiance of authority in Philadelphia. That's what I was hearing. Causing drama, bringing his cell phone and not listening to the coach. That's what I was hearing. So I don't know where this back injury came from until he just didn't want to play. Well, let's continue on. Simmons is a 3-time All Star. Whatever. Let's continue on with that. I know what he is. He has missed games this season for a variety of reasons, including left knee soreness, a calf, a left calf strain, and back problem. The thing is that I have is that all this has happened while he was not playing. Where is all these injuries coming from? You barely played anything.
No, some of the injuries he's had has happened during while he played. My question
Mm-hmm.
is whether or not those things pop up when the team is depending on you to be more offensive. That's the question I'm asking, because there are times you can tell he doesn't want to shoot because he doesn't want to go to the foul line.
Yes.
That's obvious that's the way he's playing. But yeah, continue.
All right. Yeah, we're almost done. We're almost done. So he missed a variety of reasons: soreness, left calf, back problems, etc., etc., etc. Simmons' numbers this season are by far the worst of his career, averaging, like Malta said, like we all talked about, 6.9 points. He's never been below 14.3 points per game in any of the other 4 seasons in which he played, and is shooting 44% from the foul line. That's worse than Shaq, mind you guys. That's worse than Shaq. That is worse than DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
My goodness. He last played February 15th, around the time he told reporters that he was uncertain about his role with the team, and prompting Vaughn to say in response that the team also wasn't sure how it would be able to use Simmons with new lineups following the trade of Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Oh, so now because you don't know what role that you was going to be in the team, oh, you not all of a sudden you have problems. All of a sudden you have back problems and you have soreness. Oh, yeah. Okay. Whatever you say. Simmons is making this is also the thing that also ticks me off. You have a guy that's making $35.4 million. We talk about this season, this year, and is due 78.2 million more over the next 2 seasons. He is pretty much making nearly $100 million for free. Free. Pretty much betraying your whole entire fan base, pretty much betraying the whole entire organization. Both teams, might add you. Not just the Nets. Remember, he did this first in Philadelphia, and all you pretty much have anything. You have nothing to say about I don't know what my role is going to be. Blah 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 blah. Nothing about you wanting to be better for basketball. Nothing. You said nothing anything about how I want to improve so the team could get better. You said absolutely nothing about how you want to drastically improve from your previous ridiculous antics from before. You had said nothing about that. Nothing. And to me, this is one of the reasons why that I know you're going to disagree, but I don't want to go off topic. But this is just one of the reasons why that when you have these guaranteed contracts, you can pretty much do whatever it is that you want to do. When you have guaranteed contracts, you know that you're not going to lose the money. He's just going to continue cashing his check and not play basketball. When people are investing their money and their time to watch you play, and you decide not to play, for any reason, you don't provide any updates. Guys trying to give you doctors, you don't want to see them, you don't want to cooperate. And with the argument that you and I had when we was trying to compare Ben Simmons to Kyrie Irving, I told you, Hoovy 186, I told you this, that he did not care about playing basketball. But your argument was, oh, he just doesn't play basketball in Philadelphia. That was your argument.
Mm-hmm.
I said that he didn't want to play basketball, period. And this is a perfect indication that he does not want to play basketball, period. So go ahead. Say what you
Based on what we've seen, I can't argue. So I have to give you two merits for the day.
have to give me 2 merits, not demerits, 2 merits. So I'll gladly take the credit for me. I know that was hard for you, but I'll gladly take it. Thank you, sir.
Here's what I think is gonna happen with him. And I did say this before we started talking about it. I have an opinion on where I think he's gonna go in his career.
Oh shoot! Here you go.
He's gonna go the next 2 years, collect the money, and then he's gonna retire.
What?
I think he's gonna retire.
Wow.
Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because one, no one realistically, no one's gonna give him another shot. No one's gonna give him another shot.
Mm-hmm.
At least I don't think so. I don't think he's a player that cares about basketball. And like I said, I don't care if he does or not. But I think all he really cares about at this point is just getting the guaranteed money. That's it. And the way that he played basketball completely contradicts what he did when he first got into the league, and it completely contradicts what he's always saying. Because he's always saying, "Well, I gotta get better, this and that, and all this other bullshit." But you're not doing it. You're not doing it. And all these teams done. And listen, I'm happy that Von is open about not necessarily criticizing him, but just kind of not
No, you
dealing
can say
with
that. No, you can say that. No, yeah, you can say that. You can say that. That's perfectly
I mean,
fine.
I would say not dealing with the BS, not dealing with his BS. Because at the end of the day, like that's all this is BS. If you don't want to play, fine, collect your money and go. But no team worth a damn is gonna try him out again. And I don't think he cares enough about. He may love basketball, but he definitely don't love being part in the spotlight.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't care about basketball. He doesn't.
I don't think he cares about playing in the NBA. So he may go overseas or whatever, maybe. But I think he's just gonna collect his money and go. And frankly, if that's for the best for his mental health, then so be it, man. So be it. But at the end of the day, if you're a Nets fan, you have to be sick to your stomach.
Wait. Mental health.
Yeah,
What mental health? What mental health?
I've always maintained that what's going on with him is mental. Because again, you can't go. This guy was compared to fucking LeBron James. This guy was compared to LeBron James,
Mm-hmm.
and now look at him. Now look at him. Like so, yeah. There's definitely something mental going on in his head.
And instead of just looking at this picture, I don't know if you saw my retweet,
Mm-hmm.
but this is the highlight that this guy. I wanted to retweet this guy because and what was his name? CG. I don't know his name, but shout out to you. Yeah, shout out to to this guy because we were talking about this. This was the headline from ESPN. The Nets are shutting down Ben Simmons for the rest of the season, whatever. And this guy was pretty much showing highlights of how amazingly talented. Did you hear that?
You go repeat.
Okay, he was pretty much showing all the highlights of the talent that Ben Simmons was displaying when he was actually playing basketball.
Yeah,
Like, dude, like the ball handling, the look at this, the ball handling, him playing defense, him actually going to the basket.
yeah.
You can't. You said you can't. Go ahead.
And you don't think that him going from that to not even looking at the rim, you don't think that's
Look
mental?
at this. The spin move. Look at that.
Okay, but like I asked you a question. You
Yeah,
don't think him going from this to not being able to dunk on Trey Young, you don't think that's you don't think that's mental?
uh,
It has to be. Because you can't be this good and then so all of a sudden just can't do this anymore. There's no way. And it's not like he's fucking it's not like he's old.
mm-hmm.
26 years old.
Oh, like the fundamentals, like with this dude, like the ball between, like bro, like dude. Who. When we were criticizing Russell Westbrook, like I said this again when we was talking about comparing him and to with Giannis and comparing Ben Simmons to Giannis and LeBron James or whatever. Once again, when I said that it was a huge epic collapse at Russell Westbrook, this is an epic collapse.
Yeah, and you don't think none of that is mental?
Well, the problem is, who we 186 is that you want to say that is mental, but
It has to be because
that
he's not that old.
okay, but Hoovy, but that should have been over and done with when he left the 76ers.
Clearly, it's not.
He left the team.
Clearly, it's not, bro. Clearly, it's not. Clearly, it's not over.
I
This
mean,
this dude is mentally fried. He's mentally fried.
hmm
And honestly, I just don't think he wants to play in that league anymore. I don't think he wants to play competitively anymore. I just think he just wants his money and to go home.
you think he just wants to get you think he just wants to take his money and just leave.
Yeah.
Leave the sport for good.
Yeah. Or leave the NBA for good at least.
Yeah, but no. Like the thing is, this is Rob. I know you only care about the Heat. I know you only care about what's going on with Miami and stuff like that. But this is what I understand when people say that this is a complete robbery, because we expect to see this type of Ben Simmons and more as he continues to get better. He's supposed to get better. And look, we all knew that he couldn't shoot the ball, but at the very least, still be aggressive of passing the ball, rebounding, playing defense. At the very least, dude, if you could see guys like Russell Westbrook and guys like Giannis and understood that those guys are elite players, fine. I get that. They've been in the league longer than you. I understand that. But at the very least, do everything else if you're not going to shoot the ball. That's all I'm trying to
And
say.
the fact
If you
that he and the
but
fact that he can't do that now shows you that he's fried. He's mentally fried.
well, I mean, look, there's really I'm gonna just look at this highlight one last time, but there's really nothing else that could be done here because I thought the problem was officially over once they traded him for James Harden. Because now that you have left Philadelphia, okay, there should be no more mental issues anymore. The guys that betrayed you, who you claim that betrayed you, even though there are some situations where tough love is required. It is. People want to hold you accountable. You have to take it and you have to eat it. But since you got out of that environment, since you got out of the environment where the fans, didn't like you anymore, you went to a situation where you were able to play with KD and Kyrie.
And that comes with pressure.
No, 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 because he's the number three option now.
Okay, but that's still pressure. You're on a team that's expected to win, just like he was in Philadelphia. That still comes with pressure, and clearly he can't handle it.
Hmm.
Clearly he can't handle it.
Well, I hope that I hope that you're wrong. That if he once his years go up are up, he's going to retire. I hope he doesn't do that because that's legit robbery, man. Like, come on, like don't do that. Don't do that. I hope he doesn't. I hope he does something. Listen, he's still in contract. Get better, heal up, do whatever that you have to do, and just try again. Just try again. That's all I have to say. When people criticize Giannis, he continued to play. When people was criticizing Westbrook, look at all the time we were making fun of Westbrook. People calling him out of his name, and what did he do? He continued to play.
But here's the thing: you keep bringing him up with Giannis. Giannis was never afraid to go to the basket. It's never meant to with Giannis. It was just a matter of trying to get his team over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Westbrook he's already reached his peak of his powers.
Mm-hmm.
League MVP. He's had impressive playoff series. Like what we see here is a guy who is just not mentally prepared to play basketball anymore. It's play high level basketball anymore.
Hmm.
And he's not that guy anymore.
Yeah.
And we've been waiting for what? Like we were waiting for a couple years. Like this Ben Simmons, like it might as well be the highlight reel right now is not going to get updated. It is what it is.
Okay, so pretty much you putting the nail in the coffin.
Yeah,
This Ben Simmons is officially over.
it's over. Unless he shows any type of accountability for what he's done, which he's not going to. It is what it is. It's over. It's
Well,
over.
this is sad. This is sad to watch, bro. Like it's sad to watch to see somebody with all that talent, people comparing you to LeBron James, or maybe Giannis, if you will. You're a guy who have every single fundamental when it comes to basketball. You have every single skill that anybody could dream of. Okay, fine, you couldn't shoot the ball, but at the very least, you could do everything else. And maybe gradually, maybe subtly, your shooting percentage will eventually increase. Maybe. But man, like, if you're just going to just call it quits and say, you know what, I no longer want to partake anymore, even though you was with other elite superstars. I mean, look, then there you will offer two platters. Two. You were playing with Jimmy Butler before. Then you got your chance to play with only with Joel Embiid, with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, and you still can't produce. Like, let me look. It's over. It's finished. I wish him the best. I hope he doesn't retire, because that would be a huge low blow if he actually retires and takes the money and try not to and purposely leave the league and not try to redeem himself. Like that would be effed up if he actually does that. But I'm pretty much done with Ben Simmons, man. Like, I'm pretty much done. Malta already told us how much points that he scored. We knew that,
He
and
has no comments too.
and and look, it's over, bro. Like, it's over, at least for now. At least for now. But I wish him the best. But I wouldn't want him on my team.
I mean, honestly, like I said, if he's gonna get the money, run, and hopefully whatever issues you have, you can get them straight away, and that'll be it. Like, it's over, man. Like, I don't expect him to get back to where he was, and I don't expect him to get better. All right. Yeah, so he pretty much Malta saying that he signed till 2025, and he used to be good. Yeah, he used to be, not anymore.
I mean, that's why I just remember to show those highlights, like, though, and those were just a sample size. There's more. Trust me, there was more of him being great. I mean, he was an all-star 3 times in a row, back to back, and for that to score in just 6 points and 44 from the free throw line. All right. Complete digress. Go ahead. So
All
I
right,
guess
so last topic is Lamar Jackson. Now, while I look for the right article,
Mhm.
he has officially he apparently, after he got the franchise tag from the Ravens, he was given permission to seek a trade, right? And he asked for that trade in the beginning of this month, March 2nd. He asked for a trade,
Mhm.
right? And so far, he hasn't had any bidders, right? He hasn't had anyone who has tried to request it. He put it out there on Twitter. Okay. Hopefully this one will have the tweet that he's been sending out there.
Okay.
Now, mind you, before all this, outside of like cryptic tweets, he hasn't really done anything to suggest that he was unhappy with the Baltimore Ravens, right?
Mhm.
But you always hear noise about the playoffs and whether or not he could have played and everything like that, and he heard it, and that's why he responded some time ago, right? He responded to that, and then he decided to pretty much put it out there. Um, let's play this video. Yeah. So,
No, I can't really hear anything yet.
yeah. No, and you're not supposed to. I just want to see the what the words say.
For copyright issue, I guess.
No,
Okay.
not for copyright. Just for words.
Okay.
Like as of March 2nd, I requested a trade from the Ravens organization, for which the Ravens has not been interested in meeting my value. Any and everyone that has met me or been around me know I love the game of football. And then continuing on,
Mm-hmm.
wait for it to move. Waiting, waiting, waiting. And my dream is to help a team win the Super Bowl. You all been great, but I had to make a business decision that was best for me and my family. For my family and I. So he requested a trade, and now around the same time that he did the trade, that he requested, well, not that he made it public that he requested a trade. Jim Harbaugh was at the NFL meetings, and he said he had no idea that he requested a trade, which I find hard to believe.
Yeah.
You've been there for a decade. You've seen this guy play his entire career, and you had no idea that he requested a trade a month ago. Oh man, I don't buy it. But he pretty much thinks that he's gonna be back on the team. And then in those same meetings, Arthur Blank made a statement, and let me see if I can find this. I mean, this is crazy. Arthur Blank, for those of you who don't know, is the Atlanta Falcons owner. If I can spell his name correctly. There you go. And I find this to be weird.
Okay. Let me maximize my screen.
Let's see. Okay. I can find his comments. Okay. Here's what Arthur Blank had to say during the meeting. Looking at it objectively, I say there's some concern over how long can he play his style of game. Blank explained to reporters. Hopefully a long time, but he missed 5 games, 6 games each of the last 2 years. Each game counts a lot in our business.
Okay.
Now, I'm trying to understand Arthur Blank. Ever since you guys choked in the Super Bowl, you guys have done nothing. So you saying that, oh well, we can't pursue Lamar Jackson because he's gonna miss a couple of games. I mean, that's a mentality I expect from a losing franchise. I expect that mentality from a losing franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, this is the same guy who got Michael Vick, and I get the concern, but these are the same. I think this is the same guy who tried to go after Deshaun Watson. You know what I mean? Like I think he went after Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson, like, he hadn't played for what, 2 years, and he has all those cases underneath his belt. But yeah, that didn't stop you from going after him. And he didn't play. He didn't play. He didn't play no game for 2 years.
Yeah. So you can't really. You got to be consistent, man. If you're worried about your players being absent, then he should be the last guy for you to trying to sign up and bring to your team.
I mean, but also let's think about this. Your team been bad for a large percentage of the last, what, ever since that Super Bowl you guys choked away.
Yeah.
You guys have been bad, and you're telling me that you're not going to pursue one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Why? Because he missed games.
And then look, I understand when people are saying that quarterbacks who likes to run, with the football, could easily get injured because they get tackled all the time. They don't slide enough. I understand that, but if your team is already garbage from jump, he is only going to make your team better from here on out. Like, he's going to make your team better. It's up to you guys, to surround him, to protect him, etc., etc., etc. But he elevates your team dramatically. So for you to even say something like that. Oh well, he's going to miss a couple of games. Like every quarterback, going to miss a couple of games. That's the risk that you take, especially when you're running a quarterback who likes to run with the football. Like that, it is what it is. It come it comes with the territory. You have to get the good, you have to get the bad. But for you to say that after you displayed nothing but mediocrity, below mediocrity, like no, that's just like such a trap, man. Such a trap.
All right, so let me ask you a couple questions, right? For question number one, do you think that the league is colluding against Lamar Jackson?
Yes. And the reason
Okay.
why is and the reason why is because remember when I told you that I believe because when I was I forgot what your position was when I made the comparison with him and RG3 on Twitter, I said that this was probably going to hurt um um that I think this was going to hurt him because he purposely decided not to go into the playoffs. I think he did that intentionally. He didn't want to go into the playoffs, and I think because of that, everybody is now is against Lamar Jackson. It's Lamar Jackson versus the NFL pretty much. I think because of that, that's the reason why he cannot find a job anywhere. Because if you're going to set out
Well,
on a playoff game,
technically he's still with the Ravens.
yeah,
Technically he's still with the Ravens, but I have a question about that also later.
hmm yeah. So I think it's because of that, solely exclusively because of that, why he doesn't have a job right now. Well, when I say doesn't have a job, why he doesn't have an extension from his contract.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. And look, I could understand, uh, people getting upset about it because look, if you believe that you were a championship team and you believe that one guy cost you that championship, cost you that Super Bowl, I understand that you want to retaliate in some way, maybe show some tough love, etc., etc. But don't compromise your whole entire team because of that. Give the guy his money, what he's earned. He deserves every penny, and then see what goes on from there. Because I guarantee you that if he gets paid, he is going to play for you. He's not gonna pull that stunt again. But look, if you don't want to pay the guy, I mean, don't get mad at him, for sitting out. Like it's still a two-way street. People want to get paid, and like you said, Hoover, you said this all the time when it comes to the NFL. You only have with the exception of the quarterbacks, you only have a few years in the league. You only have a few years, and look, if you're not going to pay him now, you just need to look elsewhere. Trade him, do something else. You need to do something else because right now you're holding your own team hostage. What's your next question?
Oh well, let me address that. Let me address that. Do I think the NFL is colluding against them? Yes, but not for the reason why you said.
Okay.
I think the reason why because they don't want to pay whatever contract he's asking for. And again, there's never been anything reported as to what he's asking for. We don't know if he wants more than Deshaun Watson, but we saw Deshaun Watson contract. He had the richest contract in the NFL, and I'm not surprised that he wants that money. And Jimmy Haslam even said in the owners meetings that the reason why they offered Deshaun Watson so much money was because one, they haven't been able to find a quarterback in 30 years. And two, it was the only way to convince Deshaun Watson to be there. Because Deshaun did not want to go there. But when someone throws you $230 million and a whole bunch of that guaranteed, then yeah, you're gonna stay. But I think the teams I think they are colluding against him, but because they don't want to pay, they don't want that contract, that guaranteed money contracts to go up. That's the problem. They don't want those guaranteed contracts going up.
Like they don't want a new trend to start pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. Which was started by teams like the way Kansas City did it with Mahomes was actually smart because they pay him a percentage of like they give him a long-term deal, and the deal is gonna help them at least pay some of the guys when their contracts are up. Not everybody, but some of the guys.
Yeah.
So
But
like
but before you do answer the other question, I do want to address this. I do partially believe that him not having an agent hurts him too. I do partially believe that him not having an agent, hurts him because I honestly do believe that agents are important, that they are able to negotiate, contracts, speak on your behalf, do things that I honestly believe he's just incapable of doing because I don't think he has the proper, training or credentials or at the very least experience of negotiating these huge mega deal multi-million dollar contracts. I don't think he has
Well,
the capability to do that.
I think the reason why he doesn't have an agent is because he doesn't want to give a percentage of his contract to an agent.
Well, now this let me tell you this too, right? And you might disagree with me when I say this, and this might sound contradictory, but hear me out first, right? I honestly hope that he will give in and actually get an agent, and let me tell you why. Because let's say he's successful of getting a really nice, good deal, and not get an agent to represent him. I honestly believe that that is going to cause a trend. That if he does it, I'm pretty sure a lot of these other quarterbacks or any other football player will say, you know what? If Lamar Jackson would do that, I'm going to do that.
Well, I think I think they have a guy on the team who doesn't have an agent, but yeah, they got a contract done, but it's not the same money.
Right.
Definitely not the same money.
Because a free an agent is going to ask for like 5 or 2%. So, I know it's not like
It's not that much. It's not that much.
yeah, it's a
But,
very
well, I don't want to say it's not that much because 2% of what 200 million is still a lot of money.
of course.
But
Absolutely, but the thing is, I don't. I mean, it is part of their livelihoods too. Like I will never be in favor of. I know a lot of people say cut off the middleman, cut off the middleman, but remember these people or these companies, these corporations, they do that stuff for a living too. Like I don't want him to start a trend to well now everybody don't need an agent anymore, and then now agents will be out of a job. Like I don't want that trend to start. Like I honestly believe that you know what, just do your fair share and just pay him that 1 or 2% that he has earned because he's representing you, and he wants the best for you, and he wants what's best for him. So I don't want this trend to start of football players or basketball players or whatever not being needing to have agents anymore. Like I don't want jobs being lost if that makes sense.
no, it'll be fine. Like they work in agencies. Most guys, what Lamar Jackson doing is obviously very rare. Is obviously very rare.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's not like it won't. I don't think it'll start a trend. I don't think it'll start a trend. But
You don't think so?
let me read some comments before I
Mhm.
ask you the second question. Joshua, going back to Ben Simmons, says Ben Simmons sucks. He's a waste of space.
I, I, I mean, you could say he's a waste of space now. But I don't want to. You know what? Actually, no. I take it back. I don't want to go back to Ben Simmons. Like, yeah, he is a waste of space. He wasted everybody's time.
All right, so Malta is giving us a good night sign. Have a good night, bro.
Always a pleasure having you with us, Malta. Thank you.
So Ruben in the chat, he said you need an agent in the industry. Chris,
Well, yeah, but like, and that's in any industry, whether it's football, basketball, any industry where you're making multi-million dollars. Yeah, you do. Want to have a guy, to represent you. Like you do. Like, when you have all these crazy business deals too, you do want to have a guy that will help you out. With these, mega deal, contracts. And it's one of the reasons why people have agents. It's one of the reasons why they have all these, multiple lawyers. Yeah, it's a way to represent you and to handle the business. Like I do think it is it's imperative for these mega stars to have an agent. I do think it's necessary.
also I want Ruben also said that you need to give him your contact information also.
Ruben said that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Where he said that at?
It's in the chat somewhere.
Okay. You're gonna have to.
You forgot to get his information when he left for Seattle. All right,
Okay.
so Chris Garcia, what's going on, bro? He says 100%. No agent is a huge part of the problem. I commented on I commented on this last week. I believe his mom is not the answer as far as representation.
Exactly.
If an agent can get you an extra 50 to 100 million, then that covers whatever percentage he didn't want to pay.
Do you
But
do
the problem is we don't know how much he's asking for. That's the problem. Oh, okay. You meant my info. Yeah, yeah. You were supposed to get that weeks ago.
you remember who Ruben is, right?
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah. But yeah. But you were being lazy when it comes to that. So yeah. Well, the answer. We'll go back and answer your question. Um, I don't know. We don't know how much he wants. We don't have an official offer from him. If do I think that an agent can get him more money? I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true unless the agent can talk Lamar Jackson down from a couple of his demands. Right? Let's put a theory out there that he wants 250 million all guaranteed. I can assure you that the Ravens don't want to do that. Right? They don't want to give him 250 million guaranteed no matter what. Do I think they want to give him a $250 million contract with some incentives? Yeah. I think they would do that. And maybe the agent can talk Lamar into taking that deal. I think he can talk him into taking that deal. But like in general, like the thing is, like, Lamar Jackson wants to get paid. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, but and yeah, but that still shouldn't stop him from getting an agent, though. I think having his mom being an agent was like the stupid thing he could have done. Like, you already know it's not going to go well. Like that you have your mother as an agent. Like we
Well,
don't know. Go ahead.
well, I mean, when I think LeBron James' agent is one of his best friends. Like he has his friends doing all sorts of stuff for him when it comes to like businesses and stuff like that. So it's
Mhm.
not what even though it is rare to go without an agent, it's not uncommon. It's not uncommon. And I think the only thing that an agent would do at this point is try to talk him down from his demands.
Which is good.
Yeah, it is. But it is, but like to me, if the Ravens should have paid him a couple years ago.
I do think a quarterback, especially an elite quarterback. Like we talking about elites here. Now, I do think elite quarterback. Yeah, they deserve every penny. And if you want to have a guaranteed contract, no matter what, if you are elite, then yeah, sure, go ahead. I mean, we're talking. I mean, we're talking about a guy who won MVP here. And so I believe that all of this would have gone away if he had an agent to represent him, and we wouldn't have this problem anymore. Because at the very least, the agent would at least talk to him, talk to the owner, talk to the to the organization or whatever it is, whatever protocol that they have to follow in order for him to get the job done and to get this contract signed and then be on the way. Having not having an agent hinders this whole entire process. Because do you really think he knows what he actually is doing by not knowing the ins and outs of what an agent is supposed to do and what the agent job description is? I don't think so. That's just me looking on the outside. But we obviously know that these agents, for the most part, they know what they're doing. Lamar Jackson, he's just a football player, a good football player. But do I think he knows about all the numbers and all the the critical stuff? Like, no, I don't think so. Otherwise, he would have gotten the contract already.
Okay. Let me also address a couple of things. Let me see. Okay, okay. Ruben said that the agent gets you the negotiation connections and work overall. They are well worth it.
Absolutely.
All right. So Chris says I okay, so he said that a seasoned agent will have set relationships with every front office and could have more sway than a player's mother.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
LeBron's agent is Rich Paul, Chris Paul's brother. That's not true. I looked it up. They're not brothers.
They're
He
not.
owns, no, he owns Clutch Sports and represents a lot of top names. That's true. That's true. Also, not his original agent. Yeah. He's not his original. He's not LeBron James' original agent, but he is his agent now. And I think part of it was just him learning under Clutch Sport, like I guess under Clutch Sports. Yeah, learning under what's that dude's name? Leon Rose, who now works with the Knicks. He worked under him for a while. Then he became president of Clutch Sports. He also said even Lonzo Ball and his brother, who had the most in-your-face father, had an agent, not a parent. Yeah, that's
Oh
true.
yeah. His parent, even though his what was his name? LeVar Ball.
Yeah,
Yeah. We all knew how he had a big mouth, but
yeah.
you know
And I
it
don't
was
think,
all.
and honestly, I don't think his big mouth helped his family at all.
You don't think so?
No, at the end of the day, I don't think he did.
Well, I mean, it's because of him why they're in the NBA in the first place. So I'm still giving them credit for that.
I mean, 2 out of 3, and 2 out of 3 because those guys are good. The middle child is not good, and that kind of bear it out.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. But even he was smart enough that they needed an agent, though.
That's true. That's that's true. Okay, so the second question I have for you: do you think that he's going to play for the Baltimore Ravens again? Because I think he will.
Honestly, with all the stuff that's been going on, I think he wants to leave.
I absolutely he wants to leave.
Yeah,
Um,
I think he wants to leave. I think now he's probably going to be stubborn and say, you know what, I don't care what you guys do. I want to leave. I don't want to play with you guys anymore. I think he wants his money, and I think he wants to play elsewhere. I honestly believe he's going to play elsewhere. And
but
I, go ahead.
I don't think a team is going to give him the money that he wants. I heard that the Colts may look into it, but if we believe that the league is colluding against Lamar Jackson, and the reason why I think it is because they don't want the contract money to increase, guaranteed money to increase.
Hmm.
I don't think he's gonna get traded.
Okay, so you think Baltimore's going to keep him?
Yeah. Now I don't know if he's upset to the point where he'll sit out a year. I have a hard time believing he would do that. But we've seen quarterback do it.
Wait, hold on. Mind you, he sat out on the playoff game.
Yeah, but he
I
was
don't.
hurt.
I don't. I honestly, if he could sit out on a playoff game, where I'm pretty sure everybody in their right mind would, at the very least, would assume that they could have definitely compete for a Super Bowl. If he's going to sit out on the playoff game, no, he would definitely sit out for a whole
I
season.
mean,
Yeah.
he was hurt. He was hurt.
Oh come on, man. You didn't think that you didn't think that he could play heaven out. You
I
think that he could have played?
it's not my I don't know. I don't know the man. But at the end of the day, he was hurt. He was hurt. And if I'm Lamar Jackson, I'm not gonna rush to play. Especially when you have all this disrespect going on my name. After and look, Baltimore can do it. They can say whatever they want. They trade him. That team goes to irrelevance. Straight to irrelevance.
Yeah.
So if they want to f around and find out regarding Lamar Jackson, go ahead but I'm telling you right now, the minute he's no longer wearing a Baltimore Ravens uniform, that team becomes irrelevant. And John Harbaugh, he's going to lose his job. He will lose his job, and they're going to start over.
You think he's going to lose his job?
Yep.
No,
Yep.
I wouldn't.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. There was rumors that he was going to lose his job, like before he put Lamar Jackson in. Remember, Joe Flacco was still on their team, and to their credit, they paid Joe Flacco. But what happened? Joe Flacco started getting hurt. He also ended up not being that good, and And now, and it was like, yo, they're losing, so he put Lamar Jackson in, and they started winning. And they built the entire offense around this guy. And now you decide to put you make the entire offense around this guy. You're here for several years. You're successful. He wins the MVP, and yet you guys are haggling overpaying the guy. When if you guys were smart, you would have done it a couple years ago.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be in the mess that you are in. Yeah, that's true.
And people think, oh, you can just get rid of him and find a quarterback easy. I mean, Cleveland pretty much, they admitted they had pretty much had to break the free agent market just to get a guy. And we don't even know if he's even going to be good anymore. But they had to take a risk because they spent 30 years trying to look for a quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Chris says, as loudmouth as he is, he spoke his kids' careers into reality. I
That's
think
true.
his kids' talents did that, not him. His kids' talents did that.
No, come on. It's because of him what Lonzo became the first round pick. It is because of him.
Okay, maybe, but the facts are that when it came to he said LeVar even said it, like LaMelo was going to be the best one of the three, and he is, but he can't stay healthy, and he's in an awful organization like the Charlotte Hornets, so yeah, I mean what you guys are saying is partially true, but I think most importantly is their talent that got them to where they are. Because, like I said, the middle child is garbage. And he said all three of them were going to be in the NBA, and that's not what happened. You know what I mean?
Two out of three is not bad, Louis. Like, I mean, if you have three sons and two of them made to the NBA, you did good. You did good.
Yeah, that's true. I can't argue that. LeVar is a businessman still. That was at least someone to build hype, although it would have worked better if they were better overall. I agree. He stays with the Ravens 100%. The league is working against him to suppress the quarterback market. And I do believe that's what they're trying to do. And Chris put it eloquently.
Yeah, you that was very well said, Chris. That was very well said, man. Like,
I do think the league is working against them. Because I refuse to believe that you have teams like Atlanta. Well, did Atlanta get anybody in the free agent market? Who did they get? I think they got somebody.
dude, I'm surprised you even paying attention to that ridiculous organization, that mediocre organization. Like you said, ever since that Super Bowl, they've been nothing. I haven't keeping up with what they've been doing. But if you have them, kudos to you. But I'm not focusing on that team.
Yeah. But I would be surprised. Like Indianapolis, they don't have a quarterback. Washington, they don't have a quarterback. Carolina right now, they don't have a quarterback, but at least they have the first pick in the draft,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to draft a quarterback. Like there are teams out there who don't have a quarterback, and they're not pursuing Lamar Jackson. That just seems weird to me.
That is weird.
It just seems
You have somebody who won MVP. Of course, that's weird.
Yeah, and he's not old like Brady and Rodgers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's not old like them. He's in the prime. He's in his prime.
he's in his prime. He's elite, and he could absolutely take your team to the promised land. Absolutely, he can. So the fact that you have teams who don't have a quarterback is not pursuing him, that I do find that very suspicious. That's way too suspicious. That's just obvious right there. That's just obvious. It's clearly this is collusion that they do not want him to start a new trend to where now it's 100% guaranteed contracts. They don't want to pay. Like they're being cheap. And look, I also want to say this. Like I could understand why a lot of organizations, especially the NFL, don't want to give 100% guaranteed contracts. Like I get it.
Yeah, I get it too.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, look what's happening in the NBA. They don't want what happens to the NBA. Guys be able to
Well,
dictate what they want. I don't think they want that in the NFL. They
the
don't.
sport, I think the sport that is worse in is baseball, because guys get guaranteed contracts, and I mean they're getting like 10, 11, 12 year deals worth $400 million,
My goodness, man.
and they're paying them way into when they're not supposed to be good anymore.
Right.
That's the crazy thing.
Yeah. 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 So the NFL doesn't want to do that. They don't want to go in a situation where they're giving guaranteed contracts and the players are not putting their end of the bargain. Like they don't want to do that. They don't want to mimic the NBA or the MLB for sure.
Yeah. All right. So Chris also said Jello made it to the G League and played pro in Europe. I mean, that's not what his dad predicted, though. His dad predicted NBA.
Well, I think maybe eventually he'll probably be in the NBA eventually,
No, I don't think so.
depending
I,
on how well he does in Europe.
I mean, if he could get better in Europe, I guess. But I don't think he was ever anything. He wasn't even good. He's not good. I can say this about Lonzo Ball. He was good in college. He was good. And LaMelo, like LeVar said it himself, he was the best one out of the three.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was always known that what's his name is the weakest of the three, Jello. He's always known because he doesn't have the handle. He's the biggest one of the three, and he's also the one that has the least ball skills. Like I mean, he's not an NBA player. He just said that. He also said I don't think they all are on the same group chat, but I think they all give each other quick nods in shared rooms. I think he's talking about the owners. Yeah, some of the owners hate each other. Absolutely hate each other. And I think that so if he had if the I don't know who the Ravens owner is, I forgot his name. But if he had the NBA team and an NFL team, an NFL owner that hates him and had the money to go get Lamar Jackson, I think he would. Absolutely, he would. I believe that, but right now I don't think the market is great for Lamar. That's why I think ultimately he's gonna go back to the Ravens. And if he goes back to the Ravens, obviously they're gonna have to do some making up. They're gonna have to do some making up to do. They have some making up to do. So, I mean,
And although I do agree that they may not all be in the same chat or whatnot, but I do know for a fact. Well, I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure they still care about their bottom line, and they are going to do whatever it takes to make sure that they don't spend the money, even though that they have it, despite the fact that they do have it, they have it, but they're going to do.
They have to worry about the salary cap, obviously.
Yeah. They don't want to pay if as much if they don't have to. Like we know this.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note, I'm done. I'm finished.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty much done too. Like I guess all of us agree that the NFL is against Lamar. Like I said, it's him versus the NFL.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's going to play for the Ravens. I think he's going to play somewhere else. I think Lamar is I don't want to say he's a stubborn human being, but if he wants to leave, I think he's going to leave.
I definitely think that he's offended by what happened, by what's going on, and I think he definitely wants to leave, but I just don't think that there's a market out there that will benefit him leaving.
But I do believe that if he wants to leave truly that badly, I do think he will be okay with with less money eventually.
I mean, he's gonna have to play on whatever contract, whatever thing that he signed up for when it comes to the franchise tag is what he's gonna make for that 1 year. I mean, yeah, the guy what's that dude's name? Kirk Cousins, he dealt with that throughout the years. Like, Washington didn't want to commit to him.
Yeah.
He just played on 1 year deals and until he got his major contract in Minnesota.
Yeah, and to me, I think he's a good quarterback. Like
Yeah, but
he,
he's not Lamar Jackson.
yeah, oh, yeah, of course not. Like he's one of those quarterbacks like that. He will do very good. He will do very well in the regular season. Maybe go a little far in the playoffs, but that's it. I don't think he's a Super Bowl type of quarterback, but he's a good quarterback who definitely deserves
And
it.
honestly, when you think about it, Washington, I feel like they would be better off with him than without him. They would be better off with Kirk Cousins than without him.
Hmm.
So,
Yes.
all right. So on that note, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Roll call.
So yeah, do a quick roll call. Yeah, and we're out.
Chris, thank you for watching. Ruben, thank you for watching. Trust me, you'll get my information from Steve. Hopefully. Malta, thank you for watching. Joshua, thank you for watching. Wendell C, thank you for watching. Let's see who else we got here? Oh, Jill, thank you for watching. Vito, thank you for watching. Critical Drop, thank you for watching.
Don't forget my nephew.
Yeah, I got him, Joshua.
Okay. Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure.
So yeah, so that's it for the podcast. Like I said, we have a couple things that we want to do this week. Next Thursday, we'll have the show with Seafried regarding E3, the death of E3.
Yeah.
Bring
That's
your
gonna.
flowers, wear your Sunday best because we're gonna put that bitch in a coffin and lay it to rest.
Yeah, we're gonna give it the proper burial.
Mm-hmm.
Let's all come and show its respect. I'm very highly disappointed, but you all will get my thoughts on it come due next week. I am definitely looking forward to it. And oh snap! Look who just joined. Oh yeah.
What's going on, man?
You missed it, Nolan. You missed it, buddy.
The E3 show will be next Thursday. The E3 show will be next Thursday. Now, regarding Monday, now if
Oh yeah, remind everybody your betrayal. Go ahead.
not betrayal, Monday there is the NCAA championship game. If the Hurricanes make it to the NCAA championship game, then I'm not going to be here because I'm going to be watching the game at a bar. So if they make it, no show on Monday. If they do make it, then likely will be a show on Monday. So go Canes. On that note, this is Hoover 186. I am out of here.
Okay, and once again, yo, Chris, thanks once again, bro. It's always good
Yes,
to see you. Hopefully, I'll see you at.
it would be awesome to have a Canes versus FAU final.
That would be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. That would be pretty cool.
And I know the college world would be upset, but that's what I love the most about it. Everyone gonna be upset about it.
Okay, so yeah, it's Chris. Hopefully, I'll see you at the gym real soon. As far as everybody else, Nolan, yeah, I mean, glad that you came. And look, if you all could just do one quick favor before you go, if you could give us a real quick like. I keep forgetting to say this in the beginning of the podcast, but if you could just give us a quick like, share the content, whether if it's on Twitter, IG, Facebook, TikTok, whatever social media that you guys have, it would be awesome that you could share it so that everybody could see our content and we will continue to make more. And once again, what's his name? What was his name?
Vito,
Yeah, Vito. I gave my once again. I gave my information down here. I will look for you. I'll do my best to look for you. And yes, you will get paid handsomely, sir. You will definitely get paid because I do want our contact to be good. So, with all that being said, you all have a good night. This is the Traditionalist 101 signing out. Have a good one.
right? Hoover 186. We are out.